How is it going, everyone? It's good to see you guys again after 2 weeks. We are back for GrapeApe's Reaver Express. We are going to get right into it tonight. Last week, our party rode a roller coaster made of bone and fought some flying monkeys on balloons with scorpion tails. But let's get right into it and have them introduce themselves tonight. Going from left to right on my screen, Mark, tell us a little bit about who you're playing today. Who is still alive?
Yeah, surprisingly, I still got three characters alive.
Playing it
So
safe.
I, you know, they're getting into it a little bit. So Finny is a halfling glove maker, and she um, is usually hanging around with Mr. Tittlefinks, her spooky friend, um, who doesn't talk too much. I've got Barclay. Costermonger, who is leveled up to be a cleric, which may get necessary for some healing. He kind of had a little um, experience, close to death experience, and is a revelation of who his patron god would be helping him. And then there's Elion, who is Elven Falconeer. Unfortunately, his falcon is not quite with him anymore. Kind of met a snake that wanted to eat him. So, but that's why I got three players still alive as of right now.
All right, and let's go over to Warnock. Warnock, who do you got left?
I have
And who are you?
Siegfried. So Siegfried is a chicken who is now level 1. So he's an epic chicken at this point. Hopefully he'll keep going with all the things that the chicken class entails. Pretty sweet. Hopefully we'll be able to check them all out tonight. And I'm also playing Leonard the Halfling, who has 1 hit point and is not long for this world.
And next we have Zerathon. Zerathon, who do you got?
All my characters have been based off of the slave lords, so we're rooting for them all to die. I started a session later than everyone, but I'm caught up in the number of deaths. We got Theg Gnarlet, who becomes Turish Mock later on in the Pomarge down there, if you follow Greyhawk lore. And then newly joined is Agnar, a dwarf. So let's see how this goes. Oh, and Theg actually leveled, so surprisingly, he might. We'll see how this goes now. Thanks.
Theorist, we have Mystery Incorporated is down, but they got a new member last week.
Yeah, so I was told this was going to be a job interview, so I don't know what's going on here. But I've been playing Mystery Incorporated, and Daphne, Velna, Shaggy, and Fred were doing an awesome job until a little incident with the slide and the whole scrambling and the chop, chop, chop. Leaving with Daphne, who's done a wonderful job leveling up as some sort of wizardy type person. We're trying to figure out what that's going to look like. And recently joined by Scooby Dum, whose stats aptly reflect Scooby Dum's portrayal on the Scooby Doo series. So,
And Luau Lu is not going to be with us tonight. He is ill. We send him our best wishes. But last but not least, Gosmer. Who do you have left that you're playing tonight?
Yeah, hey everyone, Gosmer, also known as Sarah. I am playing. I've got 2 characters left. I have Oracly, the buff halfling, who is not very bright, but is everybody's friend and very competitive. He's been doing well. And then I also have Burkham, the dwarf, who's kind of a no nonsense team player. And I also still have around Starshine, the pony, who used to belong to Abigail, who has perished, but Oracly is now the temporary caretaker of Starshine, but she's getting pretty hardened from her experiences in the carnival here, so I think she can take care of herself.
All right. So on the carnival map right there, we have you guys right outside the exit from the Bone Coaster, right outside that tent. While you were zooming up and down in between battling the scorpion monkeys, you did notice in the upper left-hand corner, first of all, another moon token fortune teller, and a little bit further to that, you caught glimpses of a large tent. To the east, you guys have the huge cannon over there where you saw clouds shooting themselves into some kind of field across a very deep gap. And I believe, Cirrus, it is your turn to move the party token. What is everyone thinking? Where do you guys want to go?
Maybe besides loading the chicken into the cannon and seeing if you can get free that way, or
That cannon's really
It could work.
tempting, let me tell you.
weren't we supposed to wait? Did we get another token?
I think somebody might have a token.
I
Yeah,
thought
I
we
think
got
we've got
another
one.
token.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
got one unspent.
I believe there was one in Momo's throne.
Yeah.
Maybe
Do we
Lou
want-
picked it up.
If we
What would
wanna
we
play-
ask that, or do we just want to head right in to that tent up there?
the
Yeah, well, in
northern-
general, we're still heading northwest was the general bearing to hopefully find the children.
And just
Children.
to give everyone watching a recap, all the children of Fallon disappeared after the carnival rolled into town one night. The party has learned of a story of a dark jester who was very popular, who got married and had a child, and then suffered great misfortune and woe with his child and wife dying horribly in a fire. He then befriended a unicorn who brought his spirit back and gave his life to giving to the orphanages and performing for the children, not taking any money, but then was corrupted and tortured by a evil noble and made a pact with a dark god. So, Cirrus, which way are you guys gonna go?
All right, I think we should go to the northmost tent and maybe swing by this fortune telling machine if somebody has a question. Last time we hit one of these machines, we kind of like hemmed and hawed for a question. So I'm going to start moving us up there. Everybody think about a question, because if you let me choose the question, you know it's not going to be a serious one.
Right. First of all, you guys see the tent directly over there. Do you guys want to ask a question from the fortune teller? There is a box, a kind of small container right next door. A very similar fortune telling woman right in front of you. She has the tarot cards laid down right in front of her and looks to be like a mechanical statue inside.
So I'm assuming the little tent might be a prize tent, and the big tent is the event or whatever.
They are connected.
are?
Assume it's one tent. The little small tent is abandoned. There's nothing in it.
All right. So the only question I could think that we might want to ask is something about what's in the big tent at this point.
Yeah, so I'm looking at my notes from the last questions we asked. So the first one we asked was, where are the children? And that's when we got the vision of the paradise and the children playing. Um, and there was that distorted mirror off in the distance in the grassy hill. And then the next question we asked was, where in the carnival is the doorway to get to the children? And that's where we saw this tarot card shown, a twisted mockery of a house with colored lanterns hanging from the porch. And above the entrance, the banner fluttered with mouth of madness, red stares, and a twisting tongue.
So, standing right next to the large tent right there, you can see that this attraction resembles many of the dusted, aged tents that you've encountered already, with very few differences. This one is in better condition, and a sign above the entrance reads, "The House of Stalwart Mines." A creature that appears to be a strange cross between a rabbit and a man stands just inside the tent flaps, with a rag and a bucket of soapy water in hand, busily polishing the clasps holding the tent flaps in place. The man rabbit is dressed in scholarly robes and wears a colorful velvet cap trimmed in silver thread. Noticing your approach, he says, "Welcome, new guests. Long has it been since I've had any visitors to my exhibit. Please step inside to test your mental mettle against the thrilling games of the mind. He pushes his spectacles back upon his nose and then darts just inside the entrance, pulling the tent flaps open. The games will truly test your mind, but the reward for solving them all is a prize befitting the difficult challenge. Pushing the drooping spectacles back once more, he adds more quietly, Fail, though, and you'll pay the price for being the village idiot. After a moment, he giggles in an eerie fashion, ending with a pig-like snort.
Orkley says, well, I know I'm not that bright. I don't need him to prove that to me.
You can see behind the large tent is the massive canyon, unending in its depths, the pink mist swirling about.
Scooby Dum takes one look at him and says, I'm ready. This is the kind of metal that needs to be tested.
All right, are you going in the tent?
Oh, Scooby Dum is.
Well, you're moving the party token, so if you're going, the whole party's going. All right, so walking into the tent, the first room you come upon is. Stepping through the opening, you find yourselves gazing at 3 alabaster walls, faced with highly polished white marble. A strange snipping sound behind you causes you to turn and see the entrance you had just passed through has vanished. A subtle chiseling noise causes you to spin around once again. Words are beginning to form on each of the 3 marble walls. Each forms the same phrase, a riddle it would seem. I have a heart that never beats. I have a crown you'd love to keep. I can take a man's house to build another's. I love to play games with my stack of brothers. I am the Crimson King in the court of chance. Who am I? And you see an hourglass with golden sand appear, slowly draining away.
It's either the
And
King of Hearts or the King of Dime. Which is the other red card?
are you asking me?
Well, I'm talking to the party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's the
Yeah, it's definitely a
hearts
card,
and
like a playing
diamonds are the
card.
2 red.
I have a crown you'd love to keep. Oh, it's the King of Hearts. It's the King of Hearts, Theg Narlat proudly announces.
And as you answer the King of Hearts, the writing on the wall fades quickly. An
Playing with the
opening,
King of Hearts.
an opening in the far wall materializes, and it appears that you can advance into the next room.
We advance.
Good job, Theg. Orkley kind of reaches up to pat your shoulder.
Yeah.
Stepping through
That
the
was easy.
opening, stepping through the opening to the second room, you find a chamber almost identical to the last. As the entrance vanishes as before, the same chiseling noise can be heard. This time, however, random letters begin appearing underneath your feet all across the floor. At the same time, a message begins to form on the far wall. 9 words you must find in the given set of time. Make order from the madness, or fail and suffer sadness. The same hourglass materializes above you and flips, signaling the start of the contest. Although you notice that the hourglass has less sand in it than before. And let me move you over
It's like a gauntlet. We're gonna.
to our puzzle map.
We just have to come up with 9 words.
9 words.
Oh boy.
No, the puzzle hasn't started yet, but as soon as I start the timer, if you guys are watching my camera, you'll see the sands of the hourglass ticking away. On the walls, the first word that appears is the word damned. And you guys should be able to draw on the map and circle them as you find them.
Where do you see damned? Oh,
I
damn
don't see it anywhere.
Oh, Oh,
Uh,
this one here. Yeah,
as,
I just
someone's
did
got
it. Next word.
as soon as that word is circled, it disappears from the wall, and the next word that shows up is darkness.
If I could figure out how to draw, I could draw it. It's
It's
starts
starting
at
at
the
the bottom.
bottom.
There, I got it.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, we got it.
After the word darkness disappears from the wall, the next word that shows up is the word death. You guys are fast. The
Got
word
this.
death disappears from the wall. The next word that shows up, you're halfway there, is jester. Two minutes left. The
We got
sands
it.
are quickly falling through the hourglass. Jester disappears quickly from the wall, and a new word is chiseled in. Key.
E.
Key. Key.
Got it.
The next word is madness.
There it is.
Madness disappears as quickly as it showed up, to be replaced by the word mirror.
Oh, someone got excited.
Here's
They
mirror.
already had a pre-drawn, and then they let go. We got mirror there in the third from the right there, and then
There
murder's the
is
next one. We got that one too.
1 minute remaining. You guys found murder already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As murder disappears, the ninth word does not show up. And it looks like you may have to find one on your own.
Nice.
Search.
35 seconds.
Sin.
Incorrect.
Mm.
20 seconds. With 10 seconds left, the word unicorn appears on the wall.
There it is.
All
Yep.
2, 1.
Got it.
Oh! Just in the nick of time as the last grain of sand falls away, the words disappear, and a door opens up in the back section of the wall. Advancing to the third room through a short corridor, you find that the next room is different than those you encountered previously. It's circular and faced with rough stone. Several large holes are gouged into the wall. Reset my timer real quick. Seemingly at random, hold on. Several large holes are going seemingly at random. The holes in the wall, kind of like Swiss cheese. These big, huge holes. A scroll case hangs from the ceiling just within reach, while several sconces hold smoky torches that cast devilish shadows all about you. What do you guys do?
You said smoky torches cast shadows, and there's Swiss cheese holes on the wall.
Correct. And there is a scroll case hanging from the center of the room.
Does it look like we're supposed to climb up, that there's no other way up, and we use the holes in the wall to get up there?
No, it's hanging from the ceiling within reach. You can simply pluck it from the ceiling and take it if
Does
you
the
want.
floor appear that it would give way once we did so?
It doesn't. The holes are in the walls. They are not in the floor.
And a scroll case, you're saying there's a case with a scroll in it that we can look at pull out the scroll and look at it?
Well, he's
I
gonna
didn't.
say, "Do you go pick that up, or do you
Yeah.
walk through there?
I just want to know
I
if
didn't.
that's what
Is
we're
that what you're gonna
seeing.
do?"
I did not say that there's a scroll in it. I said there's a
Yeah.
scroll case hanging from a
Ah,
string in the center of the room, and there are sconces along the wall with big Swiss cheese holes pockmarked in the wall. It appears
Games where
that
you're
the only
supposed to
thing
swing it and have
that
it
is
go in the hole.
interactive could be the scroll case.
Does it look like if you swang the scroll case on the string, it could reach and land in one of the holes?
No.
No. I have
Good
no
thought,
idea
though.
what this game.
I mean, it could be the shadows.
Perhaps
or
there's
trapped.
instructions if there is indeed a scroll inside.
We're afraid to touch it.
Leonard the
That's what's
halfling
happening here.
will reach up and grab the scroll with his one hit
We
point.
have 2 halflings, so I like using one of our spare halflings.
The
Yeah, he has
scroll
one hit
Gets
point.
ready to
He'll
jump
grab it.
on the wall. Fed gets ready to jump on the wall and put his hands in the holes to save himself when the floor gives away.
The
Because
scroll
that's what we've
case
been learning here.
immediately comes off the string as the golden string disappears, forming the disappears up into the ceiling, and once again, forming the hourglass inside. So you have the scroll case in your hand. Do you want to open it?
Leonard will walk away to a corner away from the group and open the scroll case.
There is, in fact, a parchment curled up inside. I'm assuming you pull it out.
Yep, and he'll read it.
A riddle reads, a coiled snake with a stinging bite. I hang at rest unless forced to fight. And the hourglass begins once more.
We
This
get to see that.
time with much less sand in it.
Do we get a
Right.
coiled snake with a stinging bite?
I just
hang
pushed it out.
at rest unless forced to fight.
1 minute, 30 seconds left.
Is there anything hanging from the ceiling?
There is not.
What's in the hole?
You look inside one of the holes, and it appears completely dark. Doesn't appear that there's anything inside.
Can I take a torch off the wall?
Yeah,
Sure.
stick it in the.
Stick it in a
Burkham will
hole?
do that too. Yeah.
You have a torch, and the holes seem to go back into the wall at least 5 feet. 1 minute remaining.
So what was it hanging from? String, rope?
The scroll case
The
was
scroll
hanging
case.
from a tiny golden string.
Leonard the halfling would like to take his quarterstaff, stick it in one of the holes.
You put your quarterstaff, and it goes all the way in there. You don't feel any resistance. Rattle it around a little bit. It feels like it's all stone inside, nothing in there.
I should
35 seconds.
Take the string off of the ceiling.
The string
It
disappeared.
Oh, it disappeared, right?
Yeah.
So all you need to do is answer the riddle. Coiled snake with a stinging bite. I hang at rest unless forced to fight.
So I have a guess, but
Say
I'm
it.
not sure on the last line. Does anyone have a better thing?
15
it.
seconds.
I got nothing.
Say
Go
it.
ahead, say
I'm
it.
going to go with rope.
That is
Rope?
incorrect. The timer keeps going. 5 seconds.
Oh, a
Is
whip.
it a noose?
Yeah. Whip.
Oh, there was 1 second left on the clock when the word whip was said.
Oh, nice.
And
Nice.
We're gonna have to
as
go
you
back
say
to
whip,
the replay.
I got it right here. As you say the word whip, just as you were about to say that, you heard some slithering coming from one of the holes. And if you look in the bottom right corner of the Roll20 map, a clown head attached to a snake body was about to come out from one of the holes in the ceiling. But with 1 second left, a minute bit of sand, you say the word whip, and it quickly slithers back into the hole. A door appears leading into the next room. As you step through the opening, this room delivers an overwhelming blast to your senses. The square room is filled with swirling purple mists, rolling about on some uncanny wind. The center of the room holds a rectangular block of crystal 4 feet in height and 1 foot in thickness. The interior of the crystal glows with a sick pulsating light, bathing what appears to be a large key suspended in its center, very similar to the other 2 keys that you have found. Thousands of clownish faces wear crowns, watching you from every part of the wall. The faces begin whispering to one another as soon as you enter. And before you can act, they all chant in unison. You've made it this far, thus setting the bar. There's just one last test till crowning the best. Repeat the key phrase that's sure to amaze. 5 times is the charm to bugger the harm. And they repeat that once more. And then they pause. And you see the words emblazoned on the wall. If you look in the bottom left corner, this is the phrase that appears etched into the wall. We will start with who has the lowest luck? I think it is Warnock. Siegfried is at 2. One of your characters needs to step up and say the phrase 5 times.
Okay. I'm going to say that Leonard the Halfling will step up. So when you say it 5 times, so say it
It's
3
a tongue
times in a
twister.
row 5 times.
It's a tongue twister.
You will have 15 seconds. Tell me when you're ready.
So do I need to say it 3 times in a row 5 times, or just 5 times in a row?
You need to say it 5 times fast. Chat,
Okay.
you are going to be my judge on whether he passes or fails. Are you ready?
Ready, set, go. Clowns grow glowing crown. Clowns grow glowing crown. Clowns grow glowing crown. Clowns grow glowing crowns. Clowns grow glowing crown.
What do you think,
Clowns
Chad?
grow clown.
Was that acceptable? That was within the time limit. Sounded a little warbly there in the beginning, but he got it better at the end. I need somebody from chat to tell me if he has passed or not.
I'll jump in chat and say he did great.
Absolutely not. Jess says you did it. Sleepy Fingers
Thank you,
says it's
Jess.
acceptable. All right.
Thank you. Leonard lives.
I should have called on Warnock last. That was my mistake. But yeah, I was practicing that earlier, and I was like, how long does it take me to say this?
Yeah.
Very well done. After repeating the phrase the 5th time, causes every face to scream in unison, and the crystal structure, the tiny little obelisk in the middle, shatters, revealing a summoning key on the ground and a small crown, a circlet of gold that goes all the way around the head. Not one of those big poofy purple crowns, but like a king's band that goes all the way around the head. And a door opens that exits outside of the tent. Well done, players. All right,
We get a
so
crown and a key.
it is another key with the black blood pulsating through it, a heart in the end of the key, and I believe you now have 3 of those, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. So back outside the tent, nothing else is in here.
Can I have that crown?
We'll put it in the party chat.
Can Theg wear it for now until later?
You can wear it for now.
Yeah.
If it's okay with everyone else.
Go for it.
Yep.
Go for it.
This befits me.
All right. Warnock, I believe it is your turn. No, it's all. Gossamer, I believe it's your turn to move the token.
Okay. So the cliff is, this is it? There's no way for us to walk north anymore?
You can see that the cliff does in fact span the entire length, and you can surmise that possibly the only way across to the other side might be the canyon.
And is
Well,
that
I think-
someplace we need to go?
It's completely up to you.
Should we go ask the lady in the box? To get to the children, do we need to use the cannon?
Yeah, let's do
Or
that.
do we need to get across there? If we go in the cannon, will that take us to the children? You guys good with that?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Slide that token. Who's got the token?
I got it. Or I don't know who's. I can't remember who's carrying it.
Whomever.
And I will
It might
push.
have been Lou actually.
I think it was.
Well, I mean, we'll say you guys got it. And I'll push that picture out again. Handout number 5 is the fortune teller with the crystal ball and the tarot cards. You walk up to the statue and slide your token, your moon token, in there. Ask the question that you seek for guidance.
So, if we use the cannon to get across the ravine, will that get us to where the children are?
Crystal ball swirls as her mechanical hands kind of move like an automaton up and down to the sides of the crystal ball. You see the pink mist inside the crystal ball begin to swirl about and then spread apart and become clear as an image shows the same house that you've already seen before. This time it zooms out a little bit and you can see a layout of where the cannon shoots into a cornfield across the way. It appears from your viewpoint and looking in the crystal ball that it is the way across.
To the cannon.
Yay.
Get to the cannon.
Oracly would be very excited about that. He's like, "Yes, let's do it."
We're going to the cannon.
Yep.
So just as you guys get back across to the cannon, you remember the clowns. All they did was climb in and pull the string, and they got fired across. One of them plunged into the pit horribly, but the other one landed safely in a net across the way.
What do we do for the last person? How do we get that person shot over?
All you got to do is pull the string.
Oh, you
Kinda
can
like
get
pull
in
it
and then
yourself?
pull?
Yeah.
All right. Let's start launching people over. Is there a way to line up and aim the cannon at all so that we can, for optimal shooting this, or do we have to reload it?
Well, I guess you would have to
Operator's
shoot.
manual.
I guess you'd have to shoot somebody first to see if you want to where they land to see if you want to raise it or
Move it.
lower.
So I asked Tiddlywinks if he needs help getting in the cannon.
you want to shoot him across first?
Tiddlywinks shakes his head no.
Siegfried
his
will go
weight.
first because he can fly if he doesn't make
Oh,
it, as
smart.
long as he's not super low.
All right.
So
Siegfried
actually, you know
shakes-
what? Leonard will go first to aim the cannon. Right? He'll
Theg
climb.
Nice.
shoves Agnar ahead, like, go, try it out.
Now everybody wants to go. All right. So, give me a reflex save, please, as you fire yourself out of the cannon or not.
You got this, Leonard.
See it, Leonard. Come on, buddy. And you said reflex?
Yep. Leonard climbs in, pulls the string.
Flex.
Nice.
He
Oh.
arcs. As he arcs through the sky, you see him tuck and do a perfect somersault, landing
Nice.
gently on the net on the other side with his back, and he bounces right up out of the net, landing on his feet on the other side. Turns around,
Beautiful.
gives you guys a thumbs up.
Way to go, Leonard. Nice.
Nice.
Who's next?
Agnar gets pushed forward by Theg, and
All right.
Agnar goes for it. Just a
Fire
reflex
off.
save.
Yep, fire off those reflex saves.
17.
Land directly in the net, not a problem. It appears the cannon is aimed perfectly.
I got this. It's my turn. Oracly runs up, jumps in, pulls the string.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Whoa.
Oh,
Can
Oracly.
she spend luck?
Do you want to stay on a 2?
No, he definitely doesn't. He will burn. Matt, what's your rule? How low can I burn?
You can burn all the way down to. I mean, so if you burn down to past 3, then you're incapacitated in whatever stat you might be. If that is in case luck, then just like very unlucky things, targeting always. First hits are always going to be toward you, but you can burn down to 0 if you want to. If you burn down to 0 in strength, stamina, or agility, you're pretty much dead. So you always got to maintain like at least a 1 in your survival stat. 3 if you
I
want to
can
be
only
functional.
burn. Luck is the only thing I can burn though, as a halfling, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, I currently have 5, so I will burn. I'll burn all of it. I don't want to die.
All right, so you get a 2 for 1.
Yeah,
You want to
makes
burn
it a
all
12.
5. 12 is successful. You're flying through the air. The littler weight that you had, you kind of go crookedly, and you're swinging, and your arms and legs are flailing all over the place. And it looks like you're about to hit the pole that's holding one of the corners of the nets up, and you just skim right past it and roll and tuck into the net.
Yeah, and it still hurts. He's got like this is a cornfield or whatever. He picked up some corn on the way, and it's just like sticking out of his face and all of his clothes, and he's just like, oh.
All right, who's next?
So
Actually, it'd probably like knock you unconscious, but that's okay. I got another character, but I figured someone else should go. Well, who hasn't had one go yet?
Daphne's going to chime in at this point. She say, "Okay, wait, before we go any further, just to make sure, we have no healing here, right?"
Well,
Ooh,
Beg's got a candied heart still.
All right,
Bark.
come on, let's
Bark.
go. Who's going?
Scooby Dub's going. Here we go. Gets in there. All right. Do this.
14 gets you across safely. Boom. Next.
So Barclay, our cleric, will go next, recognizing if somebody goes splat, that maybe he could help heal them when they're splatted on the other side. So he will step in,
All right.
and this is a reflex. Let me just get to the reflex button here. Oh, a 9.
Do you want to stay in a 9?
No, I think he will. We know a 12 succeeds, and I think I'm not going to risk it, and I'll burn 3 luck to make that a 12.
All right. So I believe your luck is at 9 now, correct?
Yep.
And a 12 does in fact succeed. Who's next?
So Daphne will go over and she'll get in now. And it takes her a while to get in because she's pretty roll banged up and she's spell burned a lot of her stats down. So she's extremely physically weak. She's going to take some penalties to the reflex save on the wave over because of all of her spell burn. So this is going to be fun. Here we go.
Ooh, a 9. Interesting number. Do you want to stay in a 9?
I don't think I do.
I will tell you that a 9 is unsuccessful.
Let's see here.
You have 10 luck, I think.
While he's contemplating his number, should I just go?
Yeah.
13 luck, so leveling, and I'll burn 3.
So 13 luck from leveling.
You said I gained luck when I would hit from 0 to 1.
I did?
You did.
I don't know what I was thinking. All right, so you're at 10, right?
I'm at a 13 from original.
But
14.
you burned 3, so now you're at a 10.
Yeah, I'm at 10 now. Yep.
Got it. All right. Then you landed safely on the other side.
Uh-oh.
A
So
4 leg.
Theg has got 4 luck left total. So, fine. Burn it, because who knows what the hell's going to happen here.
Okay. I've got you at 3, actually. But anyway,
Really?
7, yeah, a 7 or an 8 is going to be unsuccessful. Our halfling just burnt all of their luck to get to the other side, so you're SOL.
Oh, yeah.
So as Feg gets shot out, you see that the cannon has dipped a little bit, and he lands directly into the side of the cavern, just crunching his neck into the wall. And a horrible, sickening splat, like an egg hitting the wall, hitting the floor if you drop it. and you just see a spray of blood on the cavern wall as he drops into the pink mist. Theg is no more.
Damn.
Yes.
Is there
Another
anyone
slave
else
lord
left?
down.
Siegfried will hop in it, shoot
All right.
himself over.
And I think, Mark, you got a couple more, right?
I got 2 more to go too.
Yeah, so do I.
Oh,
All right, 12, you're good.
good.
Siegfried made it on the 12. Who's next?
I'll have Elion go over next.
8.
Oh, and that's an
Elion
8.
has 3 luck.
3 luck, man, that is not good. I'm gonna burn 2 to make it a 10.
A 10
Um,
is successful, and you land in the net
Nice.
on the other side. Gossamer, who do you got left?
Burkham left. He would go last if nobody objects.
All
'Cause
right.
he wants the team together. But I was wondering about Starshine.
That is a good question. Fenny, why don't you go ahead and roll your reflex save?
all right.
Um,
Oh, Finny makes it. And Finny's like hugging Tiddlewinks, like, she's bear hugging him on the way over.
Fenny and Tiddlewinks get over to the other side. Do we have anyone else besides Burkham and Starshine? All right, so as Starshine clomps along and kind of is wondering what Starshine should do, Burkham says, Go, climb in. And you can see the mouth of the cannon magically widen. Uh, Perhaps no horse left behind. It appears Starshine can, in fact, climb inside and pull the cord with her teeth.
All right, so she'll do that.
Give a d20 roll.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
And you see the weight of
She's
the
a
net as Starshine lands on the other side, sag to the ground before
competent
popping back up.
horse.
And
Yeah,
I
she
think
gives a
Burkham
big
is all
neigh.
that's left, right?
Yeah, so now that all of his companions, except Theg, have made it safely across, he will hop into the cannon, and not the canyon, and pull the trigger.
15. Man, you guys are rolling well tonight.
Nice.
For slave lords. But you guys get to the other side. Not a problem. Once on the other side, you can see that you're surrounded by a field of corn. And looking over it, you can see that little paths have been cut into the corn. And it goes as far as you can see to your left and your right. And you know that this is some type of corn maze. After going through the maze, you eventually get to the center. And you see a large pole rising 30 feet above the ground. A glass box rimmed with ornate iron rests on the top of the pole, and a purple glow shines through its panels, revealing the silhouette of a teddy bear.
Teddy bear.
A teddy bear. Wooden rungs are nailed into the pole, allowing it to be climbed easily. What would you guys like to do? Oh, the other thing you guys see is at each post of the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, there are 4 scarecrows up on poles.
Do they have like keyholes in them or anything?
The scarecrows do not.
Oh.
So there's just one pole and then this glass box with that inside is a glowing teddy bear. Is that right?
Inside is a glow that gives off the impression of a teddy bear.
Gotcha.
So it's about 30 feet high, and it's got nails it's like a telephone pole.
Right.
Finny looks at Mr. Tiddlewinks and says, Do you know what this is? Is that your friend up there?
Mr. Tittlefink shakes his head furiously.
Do I take you up there? Is that what you want? Or is no? Oh, So we need to go up there and get what's up there. Oh, all right. Well, Finney is like looking around at the rest, like, I'll climb it, see what's up there. If she can, like she is a halfling, so I don't know how, if she actually can climb, how, if there's rungs, if she can reach all of them.
Yeah, you can get up there, not a problem. It is pretty easy to climb. You're not scared of heights at all, are you?
No, just widths.
No.
Climbing up
That's
to the top, you discover that the glass box, like I said, is rimmed with ornate iron. It looks like there's a little handle that you can easily open it. Once you're up level with the box itself, you can see a teddy bear inside of it. And half its face has been half its body, as a matter of fact, has been kind of charred and burned.
Hmm.
It looks like, I know I've got a picture of this. Oh, there it is. This is going to be handout
Oh.
2, Elena.
It's got a skull.
It does have some kind of skeletal structure underneath it.
Tiddlewinks, do you know this guy?
Tiddlewinks doesn't respond to you. Tiddlewinks just ignores you.
So Finney looks at this box and it's also watching the scarecrows. Do the scarecrows react as she climbed up the pole, or are they just kind of?
They did not. They're just scarecrows meant to
Right.
scare off crows. Maybe that's why there's no crows in the cornfield.
So she'll open up the box and see if she can pull the lid off.
The box opens easily enough, and the purple light that was inside it, kind of radiating outwards, immediately forms into a spherical mass and flies out of the box, circling around the pole. The teddy bear is still right there, and you can easily grab it. But once it gets down to the bottom, you see the purple light slam into one of the scarecrows, and it slowly begins articulating and moving. Let's roll initiative.
Fiona says, Finney says, oops.
Want
Oops.
to open the tracker there first? Matt?
I do. Thank you. All right. You click on your token down below. Just one for everybody.
I don't seem to have the ability to click on my token.
Oh, that's false. Are you on the pointer?
No, I'm on the paint.
There you go. That's why. Man, I must have been slacking. I could have swore I had a handout for that scarecrow, but I do not see it. Anyway, let me roll for scarecrow initiative. All right, looks like we got Burkham, Daphne, Fenny, and Agnar. Cirrus, are you with us? Oh,
Yeah, I rolled. Did you not see it?
I
Ooh,
see it now.
nice. Money.
I see it on the board too.
Yep, gotcha. And Scarecrow is going on a 9. So it looks like Warnock, you're going to be up first.
Nice.
Okay. So I'm going to use my chicken powers to appear to be just a bird. Yep, it's just a stupid chicken.
All right, explain that to us. How does that work?
So it says, inconspicuous little bird. Being of such a diminutive size, chickens are often overlooked and always underestimated. Beginning at first level, a chicken PC may roll to be overlooked during encounters as if their presence is completely irrelevant and unnoticed. If successful, their first attack after being disregarded gains a bonus to hit and to damage as listed in the chart above. So I'm not sure what I have to roll, but if I do, I get a +1 to hit and damage.
So Give me a D20 roll. I think it's
D-
it doesn't say in there what you roll.
No, it doesn't say which.
Goodness, what kind of creator is
Oh, I got
that?
a 4.
It's kind of like a hide check, I believe. Don't you have a column for it's just a chicken?
I do, and I have a +3 to hide.
Okay, so that would be kind of like a thieves hide roll. Is the it's just a chicken roll, similar to that. So you would have 4 plus 3 is 7.
7.
Not great, um,
Well,
but
he
you
has
see there's
no luck to speak of, so
all right. So
that's his plan. And I would say that Leonard, feeling bold, actually he's got some darts. He'll throw a dart scarecrow.
all right, let it rip. And Mark, you're going to be up next.
Yep.
And don't forget those little boxes that pop up. I want you to put in bonuses. And 11 is not going to hit.
Knocks it off into the cornfield.
It actually sticks into the scarecrow, but the scarecrow's made of hay, so it really doesn't do any damage. Mark, you are up next.
All right. So Finny at first she's gonna pull the teddy bear out of the box and slowly, carefully start working her way down the pole.
All right.
And while this is happening, Elion is gonna see the scarecrow coming towards him. He is going to burn for agility and cast force manipulation
Okay.
to try and sling something at this thing. So for agility, let me mark that down. And here. Oh, and that is a failure. He has no luck to burn on that.
So force manipulation is gone. What about Barkley?
Barclay will walk up towards the scarecrow with his favorite weapon of choice, his mole mallet, and strike at the scarecrow.
All right, let it rip. Cirrus, you're up next. And the force
18
of
to
the
hit.
blow smashes into the scarecrow, and you can see hay kind of explode out of it from the force of the blow. Um, that is some nice damage right there. Cirrus, what about you?
Oh, we got this ice hand spell. Might as well use it. So go over there and try to show my best impression of frozen jazz hands here. So that is a pretty good result on the old frozen hand check here. So a 16. Now let me look up the inverted frozen spell stuff here. So spell produces a blast of ice and cold that burns a single target that freezes a single target within range for 1d6 points of damage.
All right, give me a D6.
4.
Ooh, another blast. And you guys are tearing the scarecrow up. Your frozen hands immediately causes some of the hay inside it to stiffen and shatter and break. And you can see that the scarecrow is much less stuffed than he was when you guys started. What about Dumb?
So Dumb, okay, jokes aside, Dumb's going to just see if he can run over and give it a good old whack, the good old Dumb try here. So let's see what we can do. With his dagger, he would totally fail, and I don't think that's a fumble.
It is not.
All right.
And next up, we have Agnar.
Yeah,
The la-
all of
last
the
remaining slave
possessions.
lord. The last remaining slave lord.
Well, uh, Is there the stuff that was on Theg? Is that gone?
It's gone. It's down in the cliff.
All right, because he had a torch. That would have been cool, but that's not here. Attacking with hammer and 17 with a damage of 2.
17 with a damage of 2 does in fact hit, and you shatter some more of the frozen hay. The scarecrow is still standing, but he looks, his clothes are very thin. He looks like he is about to crumple into a big pile. And lastly, we have Gossamer.
All right. So the others, like all these scarecrows, they were on like wooden posts.
Correct.
I assume.
Yep.
So Burkham is actually going to go over to one of the other scarecrows, and he's going to run over and he's going to try and like break the like the wooden post that it's on,
Okay.
and just like knock that scarecrow aside, and
Okay.
try to like. I'm hoping he can like with his kind of mighty deed like break the post and like get a splinter of it off.
All right. It's definitely possible. Give me a roll to see. Give me smack the pole and see what happens.
I'll just roll with my pick, I guess.
She just watched Vikings Valhalla, where they take down London Bridge, so she's got plans here.
Yeah, I mean,
20.
even without the deed, you smash it and it breaks off into splinters,
Oh, yeah, I
and
forgot the deed.
the scarecrow plummets to the ground, falling into the hay behind it. And you have any size splinter that you want available.
Yeah, so he kind of just grabs that like splinter of wood and he like has his pick and he kind of just like turns around and like readies himself. Meanwhile, Oracly is kind of just like still like scratching his head a little bit and like fumbling a bit, but he's gonna rush up and he's gonna do his best to try and whack this hurt scarecrow
Okay.
with his club. And perfect. I love it. So his first swing is just like he tripped on his way over and he just like whiffed it. Luck is not on his side anymore. He like stubbed his toe and he just like face planted into the corn. He's just useless.
Yeah, he is. He's still shook up from the flight over here, and seeing that the scarecrow sees you laying right in front of him, and he comes down with a huge scythe, trying to pierce your back and pin you into the ground. Does a 14 hit Oracly? Actually, that would be a 16. Sarah, 16 hits Oracly, right?
It does, yeah.
That is going to be 3 points of damage to Oracly.
Ouch.
Good thing Oracly got that extra HP. I have Oracly at 2 hit points.
I've got him at 4. He was at 7.
You did have 7, and then 6, and then 5. I had you at 6 and 5 from last session.
Oh, sorry. Yep, that's my bad. I was looking at the wrong sheet.
All right. So
yes,
the scythe does in fact pierce right into the back and tear into your skin, temporarily pinning you to the ground before it's yanked out. And now we are back up to Siegfried.
Okay, Siegfried is going to run and launch himself up at the scarecrow and go in with his spurs and just try to rip the face apart.
It did notice the chicken there. You were not inconspicuous
no
enough
plus.
to hide, so no plus. But you definitely have that spur attack.
Oh,
Battle chicken.
Unfortunately, as it's yanking up the scythe, it kind of knocks you to the side. And your hook attack, your claw attack kind of misses.
okay.
What about Leonard?
Mr. Leonard's going to run up with his quarterstaff and use it like a baseball bat, I guess, and try to knock the head right off the scarecrow.
All right, let's see it. And Mark, you're going to be up next. If the scarecrow is still alive.
Inglorious Bastard style.
Oh, Leonard's killing it.
That is a strong hit, and the quarterstaff slams into the side of the scarecrow's head, knocking it, and it rolls, the hay falling out on the dry ground as it rolls away a few feet. And you see the purple essence that was kind of inside the scarecrow kind of like dissipate. And it appears that you guys have successfully conquered this part of the area. You do have the teddy bear. And let me get to the place. Hold on 1 second. As you come down with the teddy bear, Benny, Tiddlewinks goes up to the teddy bear, and you can see, you guys recognize that you've seen this teddy bear before. It was the little girl's teddy bear, Emmerich's daughter's teddy bear, that he pulled out of the fire after they perished. The mists flow around Tiddlefinks, and Tiddlefinks drops to the ground, motionless. Standing in Tiddlefinks' place is a ghost of Emmerich's wife. She reaches down and lifts up the teddy bear, mouthing something as she hands it to you, Fenny. And at first you can't make it out what she's saying because there's no sound. But then, very gently, you can hear, "This stuffed bear belonged to my daughter, Freya. Use it in your battle against my husband, and it will help you defeat him." And then she dissipates and is gone.
You use this bear in a battle? Just a teddy bear. What is it? And Finney looks around at everybody. What does that mean? Use this bear in a battle against him.
Is there an operating manual?
You were the only one that heard it.
Did y'all hear that?
We heard
Hear
him
what?
say that. Is there an operating manual? Look in the box.
More importantly, Fenny, your companion Tiddlefinks is now motionless.
Mr. Tiddlefinks.
Mr. Tiddlefinks does not nod or respond.
Well, she saw that the spirit came out of Mr. Tiddlefinks, right?
Correct.
So she thinks she's not so sad. Thinks Mr. Tiddlefinks was just a vessel, and like, well, I'm glad we were able to free Emmek's wife from that teddy bear. Did you all see the ghosty thing, or did I just see it?
None of the rest of you saw it.
You get blank stares. What are you talking about?
So
Oh, you guys saw the ghost, but you couldn't hear what the ghost was saying. I'm
okay,
sorry.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
So Tiddlefinks will explain to the rest that she heard a voice saying that the teddy bear, the new teddy bear, should be used as a weapon against her husband.
Is it a
She
sword?
It's a teddy bear.
Does it turn into a sword?
She's looking at this and she's like, I think it's just a teddy bear. She see anything unusual? Like there's no like dagger coming out of it or anything, or
It doesn't appear to have any weapons. It looks like a normal teddy bear. I mean,
Slightly
burnt,
toasty.
damaged, right? With some kind of skeletal structure underneath. But it looks like a stuffed animal.
Burkham would say, maybe it's an emotional weapon.
oh.
I've been in those relationships. So I see a tent to the north there.
As you guys come out of the corn maze, you can see a large tent in front of you. Mark, it is going to be your turn to move the token. It also continues to the west, a path, and it looks like there's some kind of ride to the west.
Did Leonard get his dart back before we go that's stuck in the thing? Is
Yeah,
it still usable?
absolutely.
Okay,
It's stuck in the
cool.
hay, didn't do any damage, but you can absolutely retrieve it. I just
Can
want
we
to let
grab the
everybody know.
scythe, or is it gone?
No, you can take it.
Oh yeah, we loot that stuff.
All right, so you grab the scythe. It is going to be a 1d6 weapon. Just to give everybody a heads up in chat, we are going to raffle a autographed copy sent by David Beatty himself from his house to you in about 40 minutes. And we're going to do it right at our
What?
break time, right about 10 o'clock. So stick around. Elena, are we good with starting to put emojis in the chat right now for the raffle? All right, so Elena said good to go. Load up with emojis, get your name in there, and we will draw that right before we go to break. Where would you guys like to go now, Mark?
So when we were looking at the image that came in the globe of the cannon and seeing that there was this house, because it zoomed out from the house, can we tell from where we are where that house is relative to us and the cannon and the cornfield?
You do not see a depiction of that house anywhere in your immediate area.
But from the vision that we saw, would we think it's, behind the tent, north is, or is it not clear from that, what we
The
saw on
house, the house looked like it was surrounded by pink mist, the pink kind of smoke, and it looked like it was in another place completely separate from this area. But it went from the house to the cornfield to the cannon, signifying that you had to be on this side to get
okay,
Mm.
to that area. But
okay.
you do not see it currently.
All right, so it's not that it just zoomed out and then we saw the cannon in the house. It was just showing it as a pathway. Um, so I guess what wondering where it is, we see one tent in front of us. Um, I'm gonna move the party not into that tent, but um, up further around it to see if we can see what's past these tents. Like, can we not find this house anywhere? To see if we can see past the tents. Where is this house we keep trying to
Uh,
find?
Moving up closer, you get a bigger picture of the structure to the west, which is indeed a carousel. A little bit further over, you think you see another moon statue, fortune teller, and a large tent to your right. Further to the north, the end of the tent kind of ends in a pink wall of mist.
What do y'all
Since,
think?
since I kind of know what you're looking for here.
Let's go in that tent to the right.
Or we could just
Maybe
walk into the mist.
maybe it's through the mist that we need to go. That's what we've seen that purple mist everywhere, right?
We know it transports you
It
places.
has surrounded the entire carnival. It has been known to transport you.
Penny looks to the rest of y'all and think, what do you think? Into the mist? Find that house?
Let's
Yeah,
find
let's
our
find that house. Let's save these.
All right, then we head into the mist.
As soon as
Oh,
you
and that I guess the Tittlefinks, I'm not dragging Tittlefinks along, I'm dragging the other teddy bear along.
yeah, you're gonna have to I mean, do you want to take Tittlefinks with you?
Sure.
No, I think Tittlefinks is been released. So, but the
Okay.
other teddy bear comes along.
All right,
Oh, but
absolutely.
except Finny would uh pull out the gold tooth
Yeah.
that's left and just stick it in her pocket there. Just like can't leave that behind.
All right.
Nice.
As you step into the mist surrounding the exterior, the outer limits of the carnival, you feel a tingling sensation in your bodies, and you step out of the mist facing the exact same place that you left off. Except the carousel this time is on your right instead of your left, and the large tent is on your left instead of your right.
Did it work?
No.
All
It
right,
worked in turning us around.
Into the tent.
Josh, it is going to be your turn to move the token. So are
Tent.
you taking it to the tent?
In we go.
Let's see.
Can I take those torches? Are they nailed down?
What torches?
There's torches outside the tent.
Oh no, those torches aren't really there. That's just to get your hopes up. Traveling through a dismal collection of forgotten attractions, the eerie sounds of distant carnival music are drowned out by a multitude of pitiable human screams. Taking a quick look about, it seems that the shrieks are coming from a narrow opening just ahead of you amongst several dilapidated vendor carts. Moving closer to the tent, it's difficult to comprehend the murderous carnage taking place inside this tent. The sickly scent of burning flesh immediately draws your attention to a demonic furnace in the heart of a mass of twisting pipes. Two large glass pipes curve and loop from the top of the furnace, stretching away to either side of the contraption. And as the four clowns, maniacal looking clowns, are throwing up chopped up body parts into the furnace. I'm going to move you guys over to a different map. You see a very large clown up by a table with a two-handed axe, and he is chopping the body of a villager that you guys possibly could have recognized if he wasn't in pieces. The other clowns go about busily moving body parts into the furnace. But the thing of note is that there is a villager in one of these small glass containers, and these
Unchopped up.
unchopped up. He does look pretty hurt though. Um, he's not moving. He's kind of laying there, and he's kind of coughing because the smoke from the furnace is kind of loading into the. It's going through the glass tube, spiraling, and coming out and filling his tube with a pink mist. What would you guys like to do?
Kill the clowns.
Attack, yeah.
Or
Right.
smash something. Do we want to smash the?
Yeah, let's smash
Where's the person? Where the big clown is with the?
No, he's over
Oh,
here.
he's
I
down.
put him. Yeah,
Is he down here?
Yep.
Let's get him out of there first. I'm gonna
All
run
right.
over and smash it.
So it appears that the clowns are completely occupied, and you guys have the upper hand initially. I just kind of threw y'all right by the door. But let's go ahead and roll initiative just to see who's going to go first.
Ugh.
Let's see. And I got my initiatives in, and it looks like Sirius, you're going to be up first.
All right. So Scooby Dum knows what the plan is, and he's going to run over here. And he doesn't actually have a way to crack this open or get open, but he heard that some brilliant guy has a plan to crack it open. So he's going to be ready. He's going to be here to help that brilliant guy when they come over to crack him out.
Okay.
And since we have the upper hand at this point, the only thing that Daphne's going to do is she's going to try to cast a magic shield spell. And yeah, let's just roll it and then we'll see who we apply it to. How about that?
All right, sounds good. And Sarah, you're going to be up next. Oh, that is going to be a 24, sir. Is there a mercurial magic effect with that? I remember to ask
This
you
one
guys.
has no change. This is one of my boring ones. No change.
Okay.
It's normal.
All right. Caster conjures a shield that provides +4 bonus to AC for 1d3 turns. Roll the 1d3. Can apply the shield to himself or one ally. So there you go. 3 turns +4 AC. Who do you touch?
Who looks like they're running over to go get the crack the thing open?
Everybody. I think Agnar was the one that was talking about it.
Agnar, you're up. So I'm going to cast it on you. +4 bonus to your AC for 3 turns.
All right. And Gossamer, it is your turn.
Isn't Siegfried next?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't scroll down.
Oh, is it?
Warnock, I apologize. It is
Okay.
I was down at the
Siegfried
bottom.
is going to go this direction and try to do his chicken thing again. So he's not noticed.
All right.
Oh, God.
Oh,
He rolled the
he
one.
is
He's very noticed.
definitely seen.
So noticing that Siegfried's been noticed, we will have Sir Leonard run up here and chuck a dart at the clown with the who's chopping up people.
All right, give me an attack.
So they're running distraction.
And then Sarah, then you're gonna be up next.
All right, so Oracle, he is like, I can help distract, and he's gonna run over here, and he's gonna try to pull out this magical horn that he has, and he's gonna blow it, in the top corner of this room.
All right, the dart sails by the big bruiser just as he was leaning down to chop a arm off. Kind of just sailed right past him. And you blow on the horn. And did I tell you what the horn does?
It dazes targets, so they have to pass a DC 15 will save.
All right, perfect. You put your lips to the horn and blow it directly at the large clown. Is that correct?
That's right.
Ooh, and his will is not good. So he is dazed for how long?
I do not know.
All right. I will see if I can find it. And what is your other guy going to do?
And then Burkham is going to run support. He's going to just rush forward and attack the big guy, the big clown.
All right, go for it.
He's got this piece of wood that he grabbed, that he ripped off, and he's kind of fumbling it a little bit, but he's like carrying that like kind of under his arm, and he's got his pick, and he's gonna try to just whack this thing with his pick, and he's kind of just rushing towards it and just wants to bash into it, and with his deed he's gonna just try and trip him.
Okay. Do you remember if you got that horn out of the prize closet? Is that where that came from?
Yes, I believe so.
I think you got it at the snake charming.
No.
Thing.
Yeah,
right?
I can check my notes.
Okay, yeah, I think you might be right. I think it might be the snake charm.
I was rewarded with the magical horn.
Okay.
Yeah, by the snake thing.
All right. And what did you get on your attack?
I got a 15 to hit.
15 hits for 7 points of damage.
And the deed goes off.
And so your deed was to knock him down, is that correct?
Yeah. And I'm going to try and follow it up by just like smashing this piece of wood into him.
You sweep his leg and he falls right onto his back. The axe clattering to the side on the floor. He barely maintains a grip on it. But he is down. Go ahead and do your stake shield bash attack. 10 is going to miss. All right, so
he's still just fumbling with this thing.
Prone?
There isn't like a proper handle or anything on it, but he's just like he's kind of trying to bash with it.
I was wondering what you were grabbing that. Pick 4.
Trying.
All right, and I believe that's everybody for you, right?
Yes.
All right, Mark, you're up.
All right. So first up, Barclay will go over to this guy, big guy that's fallen on the ground now, and take a whack with his trusty mole mallet.
+2 to attack on that
Plus
since he is
2.
down.
Yep.
And Sarah, it's 1d3 round.
1d3 rounds?
Yeah.
Do you want me to roll that, or did?
No.
Two.
He's probably gonna be dead in a second. I'm just telling you for future use.
So 15 to hit for 3 points of damage.
15 hits, and tell me how you end this man. Well, this clown.
So Barclay was paying attention to the mole mallet people and the moles, and so he just aims straight for the head and takes that mallet and just cracks it open like a watermelon, just smash.
Yeah, he's down. He's gone. You see him, and he's been cutting up several of your villager friends. Who knows who else? But yeah, he is out. And what about everybody else? Fenny and Barclay?
So these other
Fenny.
tokens, these are also ones that are chopping up people and doing things. These
They
are the
weren't
ones that
chopping people. One is gathering body parts. Another one is rushing the body parts from where the big clown was chopping them up. The other two are feeding them on a conveyor belt. So
So-
yeah, they have participated.
All right. So the bubble that the guy is in is like, what is it made out of? That can we tell?
At first glance, it appears to be made out of glass.
Okay. So Elion is just he's gonna have to double move. He's gonna try and get all the way over to that, past that one. He wants to get right up close to where that bubble thing is. Finny, she doesn't have enough, can't get close enough, so she'll just move up.
Okay, and now these guys, they were taken unaware, so we skip them. And Agnar, you are up. You do have a +4 to your AC currently.
Wow.
They are aware of your presence now.
Can I smash the bubble thing?
Yeah, you can try. Let's see, what's the distance? 35 feet. It's gonna be iffy. You can get about within 5 feet of it and then throw something at it if you wanted to.
Throw the hammer,
All
like,
right,
Thor style.
give me a agility attack, a ranged attack. Do you have a ranged weapon to hit with?
The hammer.
Well, just roll a d20 and add your agility. I meant on your character sheet.
Can I just hit like trained or something like that? Like that?
That'll work. Perfect. 19 does in fact hit it, and you shatter the glass as your hammer breaks into it. You
Nice.
see the man kind of on a platform lean over the end, his arm drooping, motionless, and he's coughing and sputtering. He's and you can see that the pink mist is kind of transforming him. His face is becoming kind of like demonic and clown like, and he collapses to the ground right outside. Cirrus, you're up next.
All right then. Let's have Scooby Dum. Just kind of get over there. See if we can whack down this walk-in. I don't know what do we want to call him. Let's call him
He's a furnace feeder.
Sure. Let's whack that furnace feeder. Sure. Poor guy. He's just doing his job. I kind of feel bad.
He is just doing his job.
That's
No
an 18
benefits.
though. 1 point of damage with my little dagger. Take that, furnace feeder.
Happened to him, and he is not liking that. But you give him a little slash right across his arm. And what else? What's Daphne doing?
So the chat is really looking at trying to persuade my spellcasting opinions here, but I am not going to follow the chat yet. I am going to have Daphne just, she's going to, let's keep this magic going on here. Who is this above me? Is this Leonard? We're going to do Leonard a little magic shield here too. See if we can get some of that goodness going around.
Not listen to the chat. Chat is wise. That might become your downfall, but let's see what you got.
We're going to take the loss of that spell.
All right. And Siegfried, you're up next.
All right. Siegfried is pissed. He's going to crow very loud and run and jump up and try to scratch the face of this guy over here.
All right. See what you got. Your stamina's at 9, correct? You burned 5.
Oh God! Come on!
7 is Siegfried is not. He's not
He's not
feeling his
rolling well.
fortune.
No. So Leonard, seeing Siegfried in trouble, will charge and attack him with his quarterstaff.
Okay. There you go.
Leonard is killing it, though. He's doing amazing.
Leonard is killing it. He's still a level 0, right?
Yeah, he's got 1 hit point.
So let's see. Foe is jabbed in the eye. Ugly bruising inflict an extra 1d4.
Cool.
So Leonard takes his staff and just kind of double hands it immediately in this guy's eyeball. And the staff goes into the guy's brain, pushing the eyeball completely in. And you pull it out with ichor and goo and eyeball guts. And that guy is done for.
Awesome. Go, Leonard.
Dang it. I always do that. I delete my token. All right. Let's see. So I believe it is Gossamer up next.
Yeah, all right. So Oracly is going to rush forward here. And he is going to I think he actually can't sorry. I think he doesn't really have enough movement to make it all the way to this guy.
Okay.
And he had his horn out, so I'm gonna say he just like closes the distance here, and then he's gonna switch and pull out this paddle ball that he has. But that's probably all he could do.
All right, the paddle ball makes another appearance.
Yeah.
What is Burkham doing?
And then Burkham is going to rush down here. Actually, I should check distance. He also doesn't have, so he best just help his teammates here, and he'll attack this guy here.
Let's see what you got.
And same sort of deal. He will attack. He's gonna try and these guys just look like regular clowns, right?
What's regular? I mean, they definitely look evil. They have blood all over their hands and
but they're humanoid.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
They're
he's just gonna take
villagers is what they are.
Pick, and yeah, if this guy was like working, he's gonna take his pick and he's gonna try to attack him and like pin his like hand to like the table so that he can't move his hand.
You wouldn't be able to move himself either. And that is definitely going to hit 6 points of damage, and your pickaxe goes not just through his hand, but his entire forearm, pinning it to the table as blood gushes out all over the table. You see him drop to his knees, and he attempts to rip his arm free, tearing his forearm through your pickaxe, splitting his hand in two until it flops over on each side, and he's waving it at you like 2 separate parts of arms. And then he falls to the ground, dying from blood loss. And that's all for you, right?
Yeah.
All right, Mark, we're up to you.
All right. The guy that fell out of the bubble, does he look like he's just on the ground, or is he getting back up?
He is on the ground. He's not moving.
All right,
safe.
and Elion is gonna just go up to this this other assistant there and strike at him with his dagger. And do a very poor job at that. Only a 5. Finny is going to move up to this one, pulling out her daggers. And come on, where's the weapons? Strike with her dagger against that one. Also, just 7. I assume 7 doesn't hit.
7 missed.
7 misses. And Barclay, I think he might be too far, but he'll move up over this way.
It's only 20
get there?
feet.
All right,
Yeah,
then he's gonna time to play whack-a-mole again with his trusty mole mallet. And yeah, all 3 of them are just not making contact, it looks like.
around for you. But coming up, this one tries to grab at Barkley and is going to be equally unsuccessful. You're both slipping and sliding on the blood around here on the floor. It's very slick. The other one makes a lunge for Fenny, diving onto her, kind of like a clown dog pile. You're going to take 1 point of damage as the furnace feeder kind of just throws his entire body at Fenny. So you take 1 point of damage as you're kind of getting pushed to the floor, and he wraps his arms around you and begins pulling you toward the furnace. The other guy is going to, let's see, he's going to go after Elion, since Elion was the one who attacked him last. And does 9 hit Elion?
No, 9 does not hit.
And also miss. Agnar, it is your turn.
The one that's on Fenny is Fenny wearing a beret.
Yes.
That's important. So I'll try and save Fenny. We'll make an attack with the guy.
All right.
We won't be hitting. So
Do you want high or low?
high, low, low.
All right, you changed it. It is high. Give me another attack roll to see if you accidentally hit Fenny. They are grappled in essentially kind of one unit. Your attack is very wide. Perhaps you were trying to be too cautious and overcompensated to not hit Fenny, but accidentally hit Fenny.
My second attack is also a miss.
So
Probably.
you just missed completely.
Okay.
And Cirrus, we're back up to you.
Wow, that's amazingly fast. So let's get Scooby Dum over here so he can do a little bit of his fun little damage. Token the amount of damage so he doesn't feel so bad about his absolutely wonderful stats. Here we go. You can do it, Scooby Dum. Look at that. Another 18. Another 1 point of damage. Scooby Dum with the dagger. All right, let's hear it for Scooby Dum there. And Daphne really is just gonna.
What was chat saying they want you to do? They want you to
surprise. I've been told it's a surprise.
All right.
So it's not for right now. But Daphne is going to actually she's going to pass because there's really nothing physically she can do at this point. Any spell casting she would do might damage fellow players.
All right, Siegfried.
Siegfried is
Can you
going
land in
for the eyes of this one.
All right.
So he moves right up there, jumps up at its face.
All been building up to this moment.
Oh my God.
So Siegfried
brutal.
charges forward. His little arms, his little wings kind of beating and giving him a little bit of flight as he goes to spur attack this clown in the eyes. I need you to make me a luck check.
Second.
The clown ducks, and Siegfried lands on the conveyor belt. And it's moving, which causes Siegfried to flop and Siegfried can't really fall. He's kind of a chicken, but his feet temporarily go out from under him, and he's being dragged into the fire. Siegfried will need to spend the next round trying to escape death. And let's see, who else you got? Leonard.
I got Leonard. Leonard will run up and try to grab Siegfried. Actually, no. He'll run up and he'll take a swing at this other clown.
All right.
Siegfried's on its own. Come on, Leonard.
Leonard's been killing it. Siegfried is close to death.
Oh, not today.
But that is a miss. And we have Gossamer. You are up next.
Both my guys are kind of out of range here, so I think they're both just gonna get back into the fray. Burkham's gonna rush forward for sure, and just kind of double move and just be like right in this guy's grill, but unable to attack this turn. Oracle is gonna try to move forward as well, and he'll get, I think about, oh yeah, that might have been
What's movement?
20 for the halfling and dwarf.
too far then. Yeah, because he was.
All right, and
Yeah, call it there. Can you throw anything?
Yeah, I thought he could get up to the next line. That's okay. He doesn't. Well, his hands are full, so no, he's not gonna do. No, Burkham would do something. Sorry. So he would. Yeah, he's gonna drop his pick and his piece of wood, and he's gonna fire a crossbow bolt. This guy.
All right.
Which only will have.
And you roll critical one. Okay.
12 to hit.
A 12 does in fact hit. And is that your magical crossbow?
It is, yeah. So I've got one arrow left.
All right. So that, in fact, pierces this guy directly in the chest, and he crumples to the ground.
I think he falls onto the conveyor belt on top of the chicken.
Oh, that would ensure the chicken's death. But he is not on the conveyor belt. And Mark, it is your turn. There are 2 left.
All right. There's 2 left in a chicken on a conveyor. So Barclay is going to first go over and help the chicken get off the conveyor belt. And it's like, no fried chicken for tonight, please.
You quickly grab Siegfried and pull him off of fried death. So Siegfried, you are free. Fenny is still grappled. She needs to make a strength check to try to break free.
All right, so Finny is going to try and break free with a strength. She's not that strong.
The clown has her secure in its grasp.
All right. Elion is going to strike at this one that's right next to him again with his dagger, seeing if this time he can do anything. And no.
Right. One holding on to Fenny pulls her toward the fire. And let me just check to make sure I am reading correctly. I apologize for this, but this clown yanks you over to the fire and lifts Fenny up with both hands and throws her into the flames of the furnace.
Yeah.
No.
You hear Fenny screaming from inside. And I just wanted to check to make sure I was reading it right. Without breaking the grapple check, you are incinerated and cooked instantly.
Oh my god.
Oof.
The other one that is left attempts to grab onto Elion.
That's brutal.
This one dogpiles onto Elion in a similar fashion, knocking Elion to the ground and dragging, has Elion by the legs and is kind of gonna pull Elion toward the furnace next round. Agnar, you're up.
All right, I'll try and hit him then. With
The,
Scythe.
the one that's dragging Elion?
Yeah, why not? Uh-oh, I missed.
All right. Well, you don't have to roll for a different attack this time because he is dragging him by the ankles. He's not kind of dogpiling Fenny.
I think you should make me roll.
All right. Go ahead. You want higher or low?
Low.
I should be consistent. I was trying to be nice. I
Don't
always
be
feel I always feel bad when I kill a character. You
So
said
is-
you wanted low?
Yeah.
All right. It is high. Give me an attack roll.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Does a 16 hit Elion?
Oh, probably. Wait, has he got a shield or anything on?
Ooh, yeah. 16 does hit Ilion, yep.
For 5 points of damage.
I was trying to be nice.
These
I'm
are,
gonna
these are not
I'm
your
gonna
5 minutes,
say
Mark.
yeah, I'm gonna say it's just 1 point of damage. I don't want to kill two of Mark's characters.
Oh, 5 points won't kill him. Not to, I don't want you to be, doing anything
All right.
special here. 5
Okay,
points
okay.
won't kill him. It'll take him down, but to 3, but he's
Okay.
not down yet.
All right. So your scythe misses the clown, and you just haven't got the weight, you haven't got the balance of it yet. And it slashes right across the back of Elion's thigh, causing a huge gash and blood streaming down his leg. Agnar, you're done. But Cirrus, you're up next.
Yeah. All right. So what the heck, guys? Can Scooby Dum fit in right
Sorry.
there?
Scooby Dum can fit in right there.
All right. So this is what we're gonna try to do. Can Scooby Dum try to? Wow, his scores are horrible. Can he? He's just gonna attack. He's just gonna attack.
All right, let's see it.
Hoping we could grapple him into the flame himself, but that would be wasted. All right, that's just gonna be a flat out miss there. All right, then let's
Daphne?
Daphne, let's see.
Daphne might have to do something.
She definitely is. I don't think we can survive this unless we do. So let's. All right. So I think I can get.
All right, what do you got?
All right. Let's do a AC hands here.
Okay.
17, so that's going to be okay. So single target, good. All right, don't have to worry about killing anybody. So we're gonna see if we can get that one down there. So that's 5 points of ice damage to him.
That one had already been poked a couple times by Elion's dagger, and it was already weakened, and your icy blast from your hands just causes it to solidify and
And as a
drop.
reminder, Scooby Dum did 2 points of damage to him too. Don't forget that. That's really critical.
Scooby Dum only did 1 point, but you would have still had 1 hit point left. All right. But nicely done, Daphne. And Siegfried, can you take out the last one?
Hopefully, Siegfried is going to run underneath and then jump up and try to claw the clown's eyeballs so he drops the other character.
Get
All
him!
right.
Venge Fenny!
Get him!
Elion is 3. A 9 is going to miss.
Okay. And then, let's see. Can Leonard at least try to hit the clown from there?
Yeah, you can move Leonard over to the side if you want.
Okay. I think Leonard, yeah, he's going to try to whack him in the back of the head with his staff. He's been good at that.
Come on, Leonard.
Come on, Leonard. Oh God,
Not
Never
gonna
when it
happen.
counts.
no.
All right, Sarah.
All right, Oracly is just like super upset that his fellow halfling was thrown into this fire. He's just gonna rush forward and like climb up onto this conveyor belt and just like bull rush into this guy, like with
Okay.
his tiny little body and his beefy muscle halfling arms, and he's just gonna try and tackle this guy.
All right, let's see it.
Um,
So
I
just make me
guess
a
just like
strength
a
check. Yeah, if you're
just
trying
yeah,
to
okay.
grapple.
All right, string.
He's gonna throw him in the fire.
Ooh,
He's
nice.
got him. Oh, it's a tie. So
Ooh,
you
Roll off.
smash into him, and he's not staggered, and you guys kind of meet hands. He catches you as you step onto the platform, and you kind of lock hands in a test of strength, and you're grappling each other. Neither of you gaining any ground.
I
But
will say that I have no luck. So
Tai Chi push hands.
yeah,
he probably would lose a tie, I would say.
no, absolutely not. Yeah, it's a push. I mean, you guys aren't making ground either way. You battle back and forth for a moment, and then you kind of break and you just separate.
All right.
But what about Burkham?
Yeah, Burkham. I mean, there's quite a cluster going on over there. I think he's gonna.
Gets into melee.
He would never want to hit any of his allies, so he's gonna kind of just rush forward and just like look into the furnace. Like, is there any chance that he could grab Fenny with the couple of seconds that have passed?
You reach in to grab Fenny, and a charred, blackened hand snaps off from Fenny as you pull it out, and you're just holding a burnt, blackened hand detached from the arm, and that is all that remains of Fenny. Fenny was instantly incinerated.
Yeah, that's me.
All right, Elion, you're up.
All right. I don't think Elion can get into the mess of melee that's going on there. It's just too crowded.
Probably not
Um,
now. Yeah.
yeah, but Barclay is right across the conveyor belt there, and Barclay is just gonna reach over the conveyor belt and just grab this guy and try and pull him up across into the conveyor belt and into the furnace.
Nice.
So
Give me a strength check and with your deed.
he is
This will
oh,
be
that's
a
not even with
mortal
the
deed.
deed. Oh,
So,
Nice.
Barclay's a cleric, no deed.
oh, I'm sorry.
But
Confused.
with a 19, he's pretty upset that Finney went in there and yanks him up onto the thing and slams him down onto the conveyor belt and shoves him into the furnace.
And in fact, with the 19, you pull him over and you're right next to the furnace. And the conveyor belt quickly pulls him in and he tries to scramble a little bit. And you just punch him right in the face. And he
Nice.
goes right behind Fenny. We are very close to our break, folks. So go ahead and enter the emojis for a chance to win a autographed copy sent to you by David Beatty himself. Just type any emoji into the chat. I'm going to rush you guys a tiny little bit. As you look around in here, you find, well, the screaming man looks up at you and he says, "Save the children. We came in here to try to save the children. He's sweet Timmy." And he says, "The unicorn." And he points at a pile of clothing and gear in the corner. Checking out the pile of clothing and gear, there is 50 feet of rope, 2 torches, a flint and steel, 1 bottle of liquid, a music box with a silver key attached to it, um, and a unicorn statue.
And is
And
there also? Sorry, go ahead.
go
I
ahead.
didn't mean to interrupt. I was just
No,
gonna
no,
ask.
no.
There's also the. Was it a two-handed axe that the big clown had?
There is the two-handed axe does 1d8 points of damage.
Okay.
And as you go over to this unicorn and place your hands upon it, it begins to shimmer. The statue emits a ghost-like figure of a unicorn, and you recognize it. Well, you might not recognize it, but it looks very similar to the unicorn that Emmerich once knew and met in the forest that saved saved him from killing himself. The unicorn transports all neutral and lawful PCs instantly into a temporal ethereal limbo, a glade in the forest itself. You guys recognize the trees and the clearing where Emmerich played to the unicorn. The unicorn speaks to all the neutral and lawful characters. Chaotic people, you don't even notice that they're gone. This all happens in the blink of an eye. The unicorn tells you that to defeat the Black Jester, he can still be saved. If you play the ballad that he played before he died, it will bring him back. And then if you use the bear that you have found, it will conjure an image of his daughter and emotionally shake him. And then if you set the unicorn, set the figurine of myself on the ground, I will end his suffering.
Nice.
You guys are transported back to the room that you were at. The chaotic people have no knowledge of this whatsoever. And suddenly a pink mist begins to surround you guys inside the room. Well, actually, you exit this tent and you go over to the carousel. We're going to do it the right way. We got still a minute left. And enter the emojis. We are about to do the drawing. You go over to the carousel and you guys figure that you need to sit on the carousel. The carousel slowly spins up and the clown music, the carnival music goes until it speeds up and up and up, and the carousel goes faster and faster and faster, dizzying you, and until you're completely just seeing pink everywhere. When the carousel stops, you are outside of a large house with red stairs. Entering in the door, you see a giant room inside that looks much bigger than the house itself could be on the first floor. Across from the table is at the very far entrance of the table. There's tapestries on the wall, a throne. You see Emmerich the Dark Jester on a table over there. The entire room is covered with mouths on the ground that are singing in a very horrible off-pitch tune. And they are implanted in the floor. And we are going to leave it right exactly there.
Cliffhanger.
And we still got an hour left to go, people. The finale is coming up. We are going to draw the winner exactly when we come back. You have one more chance to enter in any emoji into the chat, and as soon as we come back in 5, 6, 7 minutes, we will draw a winner. First thing. We'll be going to break. We'll be right back. The group has just met Emmerich the Dark Jester, and we are going to draw our winner for the autographed copy of Carnival of the Dance. It is a D34. Is that correct, Elena? It is number 2. Who is our winner? Jess McDevitt.
Woo!
You have won an autographed copy of Carnival of the Dance. Congratulations.
Woohoo!
I know how to get a hold of you, so I will be contacting you, and let's get to the ending. So, let me describe this a little bit more. It is a natural cavern in here, about 30 feet to the ceiling. There is a gash in the ceiling, revealing the pink clouds above. On the far wall sits a throne made from purple heart oak, decorated with arcane symbols. Above it, giant drama masks are mounted with two large tapestries hanging on each side depicting scenes of madness and torture. Music assaults your ears as you appear in this room, playing over what seems the singing of a huge discordant choir. You soon discover to your horror that there is no choir, but scattered amongst useless props and stage gear, the cavern floor is riddled with large faceless mouths. Each seems to be singing in a different key, the words mere babbles in unknown language. They seem to be trying to sing along with a figure standing high on top of an elevated platform in the center of the cavern. A thin man dressed in the garb of a jester. The rolling pink clouds above cackle as a sudden bolt of light electricity streaks down onto the platform to strike something blocked from the view next to the jester, creating blinding pulses of light and sparks that drift slowly down to the floor. The jester stops singing abruptly as he senses your presence. Peering down at you through dark goggles, he flips them up so you get a full glimpse of his sinister face. Pale, desiccated skin is pulled tight around a rictus grin, with sunken eyes brimming with madness as they take each and every one of you in. Turning, he slaps a huge figure lying on the table next to him. An oak-like arm slips down to dangle free, its fingers beginning to twitch as the jester speaks.
It's about time you village idiots made it to the party. I'd serve you wine and crackers, but the greedy floor has eaten it all. I'll be down in just a moment. I reach for a switch and my platform begins to slowly descend. I have a new
You
friend
guys-
up here who's just dying to meet with you.
And it appears we have an appearance of Emmerich, the Dark Jester himself, if you guys look at your cameras.
Amazing.
Let's roll initiative.
Ooh, jumping right in.
Yeah, let's do it. And Emmerich, you found your sheets okay?
Yes, I did.
Wow, good
I
job,
like it.
Burkham.
Guest star. Nice.
Absolutely.
It's like
We-
Love
we,
Boat, where it's like we had, except we're all dying.
No way,
this,
speak for yourself.
this is not going to be easy, but it can be done.
I am the we. I was the we.
Yeah, you're not a we anymore.
All right. Let's see. It appears that Siegfried with a 22 is going to be going first.
Okay.
You are approximately 80 feet from the Dark Jester.
Okay. So I would like to have Leonard let Siegfried sit on the end of his staff and try to wing him across. And Leonard will try to flap once he's in the air.
All
Land
right.
over
And
here.
I believe Siegfried does have limited flight.
Yep.
So go ahead and move Siegfried wherever you would like him to be within the. What's the distance of your flight?
Here. Limited flight. As long as the chicken is conscious, they are able to slowly descend. In addition, they are able to gain enough lift by moving at least half the distance of a normal move to take flight, not exceeding 10 feet high, or a distance of 40 feet. So he
So
can
you
go
want to use
40
the
feet.
propulsion from the staff in place
Yes.
of the running. So give
Yes.
me a reflex save from Leonard or an agility check, either one, same thing.
Okay. Second.
It's not going to be too difficult. I mean, Siegfried has got pretty good balance.
Ooh, his ability sucks, so we'll go with.
Do you want to stay at a 9, Leonard?
No, Leonard wants to burn some luck, so he will burn
I think you just need a tiny amount.
1 point of luck.
10 does it, and he gets thrown into the 40 feet he can move.
Nice.
Okay. Will 40 feet get him across? Oh, that'll only get him right here.
It looks like that's where you're going to land.
Okay, so he will try not to land on a mountain.
And Stefan Emmerich, what was your initiative?
I cannot select my token, and I can't roll initiative.
I would not. It's one
Enjoy
thing I would
0.
do.
Ah! That's not funny.
All right, now you should be able to.
Yes. Appears to be working, and my initiative is a 19.
Ooh, very nice. All right, so you land right in those mouths right there. Nothing happens. They continue to sing. And does Leonard take any kind of action?
Leonard's going to move as far as he can, being careful not to step on a mouth. So he can go 20. So he'll get to that area right there.
Okay. All right. The Dark Jester is up next. The clown steps off from the platform and begins marching. And this clown is huge. It's about 10 feet in height, and it is just enormous. And he is going to double move. He is going to come right over to Siegfried. And Siegfried, you'll notice that when he steps on this mouth right here, it disappears. But he is double moved, so he will not be able to take an action. Emmerich, you're up.
Pull out my dastardly wand and point it at that little horsey in the back. Go, this'll be funny.
No.
You can see that Emmerich has pulled out a wand, and it looks very similar to this. It's got jester faces on it.
Oh, and you wish it just did damage. You see this lovely little pony that you have. Its entire skin peels off and begins slapping it. 1 point of damage for a few rounds.
Starshine. So you see Starshine's skin tear off its body, and a replication of Starshine is standing next to the fleshy muscle of Starshine that you know is actually Starshine. And you see the skin version of Starshine nipping at the muscular version of Starshine for 1 point of damage. And Siegfried, let's see, you already went. I have two of you. Burkham, you got a 15, correct?
No, I'm way down at number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should have Daphne at 15.
Daphne, you're up next at 15.
All right. So Daphne is going to come in the room and not be able. She's going to get that far.
Okay.
She's not going to get quite. She's going to get that far. Let her go over this way. She's not going to get close enough to do what she wanted to do. So let's have her actually double move. She's got to get in the room. And then we're going to have Scooby Dum charge in like the brave, heroic person he is. That's it.
You're up next.
All right, so first, Barclay is going to move up cautiously about 30 feet, and while he's doing this, he's going to pull out the long sitar that he had acquired from before, and he's going to start playing this lovely melody on the sitar as he looks at Emmerich and sings him a song, an exotic song that is going to hopefully put him in a daze.
What is your occupation, sir?
Uh, Barclay is a clustermonger.
All right, give me a D10 roll, plus any intelligence bonus you have.
Intelligence, no intelligence, so a D10.
The notes that you begin blowing out are horribly off tune, and you cannot remember for the life of you the hymn, the ballad that Emmerich was playing in the forest. And you think you have the first note, and then just the stress of the situation escapes you.
You could fart a better song than that.
Yes.
All right, then Elion is going to double move as far as he can. Let me get a measurement tool here to get up on the platform. He wants to see if he can get up to there.
Done. And you can move with Barclay as well if you wanted to. That the playing the music was your action, but you could still move if you wanted to.
Oh, I had moved him about 30 feet
Okay,
forward and
got
there into the middle. Yep.
All right, Agnar, what are you gonna do?
So Agnar, it says he's a dwarf, but he's got to move a 30.
Move 20. This misprint on there.
That's fine. That's what I assumed. All right. Let's have him take his movement and wait. Where is he? Okay.
I moved him up a little bit.
What's that?
I moved him up in the doorway a little bit.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20.
And
he
you can
steps.
double move if you want to.
I could, or I'll just use my sling on the big clown with the hammer.
All right, let's see what you got. He's and you can see his skin has been all stitched together as he's wielding a huge mallet, even bigger than the mole man.
I miss,
And
probably.
that is going to miss.
And
Sarah,
that's my turn.
you're up next.
All right, Oracly is horrified at the sight of Starshine and who has been de-skinned, and his eyes just go wide, and he just like backs up into the tent as Starshine is just like neighing in pain in the doorway, and Oracly he kind of like stumbles over and like lands right next to one of these mouths, and he like turns over and he looks at the mouth and the floor and is it just a solid floor with the mouth, or is it see-through?
No, it's a solid floor, and it is an actual physical flesh mouth set
Yeah,
into the floor that is moving and talking and singing horribly.
yeah, and he kind of looks around to the couple of different mouths and he says, "Are are you the children?" And he's trying to like talk to the mouth. Does it do anything?
They still keep singing incoherently.
Okay.
Are you the children? Their mouths.
And yeah, so he's basically gonna spend his turn and kind of fumbling around talking to that, and then kind of calling out to was it Elion that pulled out the sitar?
It was Barclay.
Or
Barclay.
Barclay, sorry. And he's just gonna shout like, "No, play the right song." And that's all Oracly. And then Burkham, he's going to rush in and kind of start making a beeline towards this clown. But he's just gonna take one move, and then with his action, he's gonna drink this potion that he has. He doesn't fully know what it does, but he kind of got a fairly good feeling holding it in his hand, so he's just gonna take a risk on it.
Right. As you drink the potion, did not expect this. is the sweet smelling potion,
That was
correct?
yes, yeah, the one that tingled in his hand.
Give me 2 seconds.
Hopefully, it doesn't kill him. It wasn't acid or something. Oop.
So there is enough in there for 6 doses, and this
Oh,
is
okay.
this is only 1 dose. It's
Okay.
going to give you a +2 to personality-based rolls when dealing with humans, elves, and halflings. Neither of these 2 guys can really be considered human anymore. Emmerich sacrificed his soul long ago, and the other one's a construct. But you at least now know what it does.
Cool. That's me.
It is the scent of the succubus perfume.
Okay.
Siegfried, you're up next, and this lumbering giant is immediately upon you.
Okay, Siegfried is going to launch himself up at its face and try to blind it by pecking out one of its eyes.
All right. This is the moment you've been waiting for, Siegfried.
Come on.
A 13 hits,
Nice.
but you only managed to scratch its face.
Okay.
And it looks like it doesn't even feel it.
All
Easy.
right. I will have Leonard. He's got the acid vial, and he's going to throw it at the construct and try to hit the construct.
All right. Let's see.
So
Where did you get the
would that
acid
be a
from?
reflex?
That would be a ranged attack. So D20 plus your agility movement and any ranged bonus you have.
Okay.
What happened to the mouse that we're standing on?
You guys aren't really standing on any mounds yet.
Ooh.
Agnar's standing on one.
Then roll me a reflex save, Agnar. And do you want to stay on an 8?
No. Let's see. Leonard wants to burn some luck. So he's got 8 luck left. And he can go down to 3.
He can go down to 1 if he wants to. He
He's
can go
only
down
got
to
1
0.
hit point. He will go down to 0. He will spend 8 points of luck.
To make it an 18?
Yep.
And 18 hits as the bottle crashes against the construct. Did I tell you what that bottle does?
Yeah, it's acid.
All right. Did I give you a point damage for it?
Don't
So now he's
remember.
tripping balls.
Right?
Or do you remember
Language.
where you got it?
I got it from the snake charming
Okay, hold on.
area. I think you did. Let me just look on it.
Let's see.
Thing.
Potion of
It
acid
just says
bubble.
1 vial of bubbling acid.
It covers a 20 by 20 foot area in acidic bubbles. So immediately surrounding the construct as it breaks all over, these huge bubbles explode from it, almost like dish soap. And they are just corrosive over the entire area. And as they pop, so it's going to be a reflex save for me and Siegfried and anyone else who comes in that area, or the bubbles will pop. So they are surrounded by bubbles.
Tiny bubbles.
A 20 by 20 foot area. All right, and it is going to be Emmerich's turn next.
I point my wand at that terrible, terrible musician. And what do I do this fine evening? Why? Oh, your skin too.
So Barclay, your skin rips off from itself, and you see it transfer through your clothes and your armor until another version of you is standing directly in front of you. And it looks at you. You're looking back at your own face, and you look down and you see the muscles and tendons in your arms. And you're horrified. You know, if you've seen the movie Hellraiser where he's got this just all muscles, and the skin Barclay looks at you and just smacks you right across the face for 1 point of damage.
Take that, broccoli.
The construct is going to attempt to smash Siegfried with his hammer. So he passes his reflex save and does not manage to pop any of the bubbles. Siegfried, does a 10 hit you?
That does not hit. He's a spry little rooster.
So you dodge quickly out of the way as the hammer slams down onto the ground. Daphne, you're up next.
Our most devastating weapon, the battle chicken.
All right, so let's have.
Is it time for the secret weapon the chat's been calling for?
Yeah, I just feel bad for little Elon's in the wrong spot for it if it goes off the way it's supposed to. Let's have Scooby Dum run in there and see what he can do.
Finally listening to my temptations of
Scooby
corruption.
Dum will miss. Um,
Scooby Dum, I need you to make me a reflex save, please.
really, not very friendly.
I
All right,
actually
here
need
we
you to make
go.
me.
That's a 4. That would be a miss.
Do you want to stay in a 4?
Scooby Dum doesn't have that much luck, so he's gonna take that 4.
All right. You accidentally pop one of the bubbles for 1 point of damage.
That's exactly what he would do. It's very thematic. I like
And
it.
I need you to make me another reflex save, please.
That's a 13.
You narrowly avoid one of the mouths right next to the guy. And you can see that it would have sucked your foot into it and sealed, knocking you to the ground. Agnar, you also avoided the mouth you're standing on. All right. And what is Daphne going to do?
So Daphne is trying to figure out if she's gonna kill Elon. I hate friendly fire, but Elon, Mark, I'm sorry, this happens.
Oh, go for it. Take him out.
All right.
See
Can I
what
end
you
up
got.
like right there? Is that what square am I in here, Matt?
You can end up wherever you want to be. Yeah, if you want to be right up next to him.
Sure, yeah. So, all right, we're gonna
You got
do freezing hands, and what we're gonna do on it is we're gonna stack a whole bunch of fun stuff because this is the critical thing, and we have the guest star here, so we've got to pull out all the stops. So,
it's not
this is
looking
what
good
we're
for
gonna
you,
do.
John.
We're gonna blow. The last remaining stat I have the burn stamina, so we're gonna blow 10 points of that because who needs stamina anyway? Additionally, we're gonna pop a whole bunch of. Let's pop. Let's pop mercurial effect on the freezing hands. Karmic casting.
Hold on, your stamina is at 14, and then you used 5 to take out the scarecrow, correct?
I did not blow anything on the scarecrow.
Thought you did spell burn on the scarecrow.
I did not spell burn on the scarecrow.
All right. So you're at 14, is that right?
Yeah. Why would I burned on the scarecrow? I think I got like 16s on the die.
No, you burned it on. Oh, you burned it on the furnace feeders. I thought you burned it on something.
I haven't done
Go to
any
the
burn
tape.
today. People, you were asking me. You were trying to goad me into it, and I didn't.
All right, I'll
You're
check.
trying to trick me.
All right, you're at 4 stamina now. That is 10 points of spell burn. Roll your spell check.
We're gonna blow. Well, we're gonna blow the karmic casting from the mercurial effect on flaming hands to add an additional 1d5 to the roll 2. Plus, because people did their homework in the chat, we're gonna go for automatic corruption. I'm gonna accept the greater corruption for a +6 bonus to the spell check.
Chat. Why would you do me like that?
Are we good to go?
Doing
So
it like that.
All right.
Corruption is page 116. So roll me a.
Should be a D10 -1.
You're going greater corruption, right?
Greater, yes.
All right. Give me a D10 roll.
This is the only way we're going to save the kids. I'm a little bit scared here. Let's see what the rolls are. That's a 7.
Go big or go home.
A 7.
Oh, yeah.
Your fingers on one hand fuse while the thumb enlarges. After 1 week, the hand is transformed into a crab claw. The character gains a natural attack of 1d6, but can no longer grasp normal weapons or objects. So you are taking on the essence of the carnival, and Emmerich might even think this is great. You are going to have crab hands.
Nice. All
You
right.
want a job in the freak show?
Yes. If you're hiring.
Good one.
All right. So that's the karmic effect. So it's a bonus of +2.
This is the first time anybody's taken on corruption. What does that taking on that corruption do for your spell?
Whoa.
Oh, it adds a 6 to it too. So that's a 35, 37.
All right. So what is the result for 37?
It is not good if you are Ellen Faley, unfortunately. But you gave me the nod. So what that means is I can blast cold in a 360 arc outward from my body.
Okay.
Within that radius, I choose a wedge that's safe of up to 180 degrees. So the wedge I'm going to choose is basically going to be the side of the creature that we're all on. I can draw it out if you want, but Alon's going to be the only one on the other side. Basically going to be aligned like that. Yep, you got it. It's going to be 180. Yeah, that's fine. Protecting her, but I can't protect him, unfortunately. So the dice, though, is going to be 40, 10 plus 1.
See what you got.
And it's out to a range of 40 feet from me. So I don't know if that can get anyone else in the room, not in that wedge.
I think everybody else is going to be safely behind the wedge. Elion is going to be hit, definitely. And it looks like the Dark Jester might get hit as well. 40 feet, huh?
30. Nice.
Wow.
And this is
And
your
you?
freezing hand spell, correct?
Yes. This is my Elsa spell.
All right. So
You need to sing a song.
I can't.
a blast of freezing wind explodes from your body, instantly turning Elion and the golem into an icicle. I mean, they are just solidified into pillars of ice and are completely unmoving. Emmerich, you are at the very edge of the 40-foot range. And it's everything within a 40-foot range, right?
Correct. Correct. Yes. No save.
No save. Very edge. So is he at the 1 foot? Emmerich, can you make me a d20 roll, please?
Oh, just let it hit him. He's there. He's dancing on the edge of the platform.
He could be, he could be at
Skinning,
41
whatever.
feet.
5.
So that is a below a 10. I was going to give you a 50-50 chance to take half damage. You are going to take the full brunt of the 30 points. But Emmerich is still standing, I believe.
No, I'm not. I'm really
Or
not.
you're not?
I'm not. Right at the max HP.
Daphne saves the children.
Hold on.
Uh.
So I knew this was going to happen. Yeah, you have 40 hit points, Emmerich. Look at your character sheet.
I got bonus hit points and I didn't realize it.
I knew this was going to happen.
I was
and
reading the text.
Boosted this for a first level encounter. Emmerich is still standing, and he shrugs off the cold blast. Barclay, it is your turn.
Someone turn off the AC.
So Barclay is going to let me get the right thing here. I think he can move that far, right? You measure it. Yeah. So Barclay is going to move up to the to his popsicle friend and lay hands on him to for lay hands on Elion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
I mean, you're gonna need to get like 5 hit dice to turn Elion from an icicle back into a regular person, but it's possible. I'd say it's probably gonna need to be like a 20 or something.
To
Elion has been solidified and is a
yeah.
pillar of ice. Let's see.
Sounds like a call for divine aid. You wouldn't happen to already be serving someone, would you? I got an in with a guy. Need somebody.
Does it come with that hat? Because I think you get a free bowl of soup with that hat.
Yeah, free hat. It's full of soup. Just turn it inside out.
So divine aid may be a better choice, but it is completely up to you. I want to tell you that to heal Elion of being an icicle, it is going to be, where is the daggum cleric healing chart? Why don't I just look on your character sheet?
You want to just make him roll a 20 and see what happens?
Well, he's going to need to decide what he wants to do, either divine aid, heal. So let me give me 2 seconds. It's going to need to be at least 4 hit dice to turn him back from an icicle.
At least
Yeah.
4 hit die. That means I gotta.
You're going to have to get a 20 or a 21. Same alignment.
That's gonna
Or
be.
adjacent would be 22 plus.
All right, we'll give it a try. See if the dice want Elion to come back or not. Let's see what happens with some lay on hands.
All right. Barclay rushes up, praying to, what god is it again?
Carpessa.
Carpessa, the god of
Carpessa.
fruit.
Melt this popsicle of a friend.
Mustafa.
Let's see what the dice say.
Is there a separate lay on hands button? I always forget.
It
On
is
Roll20.
under your class abilities, I believe.
Oh, it's under class. Okay. Cleric. Lay on hands. There we go.
Barclay does have some luck left too.
Yep.
Oh, 17 is close.
And what'd you say I need? 20?
Are they the same alignment?
No, they're not. They're one off.
You need 22.
I need 22. 5 luck. Man.
Costly getting someone back from a frozen popsicle.
I will burn. I got that 5 luck and I'll burn it.
All right.
Nice.
You are down to 4 luck, and Elion begins to, his skin begins to melt, and you see very stiff movement coming back.
Elion!
Elion is going to lose
Well done.
one. Roll me a 1d3, please. Elion is at 1 hit point and loses 1 point of agility permanently.
1 point of agility. All right. Thanks. Got it
All right.
back.
But they
Good
are
job.
back. Agnar, you are up.
Yay. Hey, that potion that I have, that's the speed potion. Will that help me with my movement?
I would assume probably definitely.
Okay. Why is he shaking his head? Stefan, stop that. All right. I drink the potion, and how much movement can I get to the jerk on the platform there?
Did you get that from the snake pit? Let's see. Gains 1 extra action for 1d4 rounds. So you
can
now
I?
have 2 actions. So you essentially can move 4 You can move 4 times if you wanted to.
All right. So my movement is 20. Yeah.
Correct.
and I'm 60 feet away, so I could take.
So 40 feet would be one move, and then you could move all the way up to Emmerich, but you wouldn't get a chance to attack this round.
Well, if I took one action and I move 40 feet, and then I get a second action and I only move 20 feet.
Well, you have to double move though, so
Only the first move, only the first action.
right, but it counts as one action. So
All right.
you want to use 1.5 is what you're telling me.
Yeah. Are you allowing it or no?
Give me a luck check.
Okay. Well,
Let's let
oh
the
wait.
dice decide. Hit the luck check button underneath your stats. Yeah, you can attack.
Nice.
Keep one
Wow.
in there.
Luck of 6.
The
You're like, if
dice,
you got a 6 luck to begin with, that was my starting luck, and you
It's
rolled
meant
He's
to
under it.
be.
moving a
I'm
bit
gonna let.
slower, so you got a bit of an extra edge on him.
There you go. All right. Guy to the face. Or not.
Emmerich, does a 10 hit you?
No.
No, that'd be silly.
All right. Burkham, you're up next.
All right.
Trying to
So
sweep his legs.
Oracly is down here, and he's just saying like, okay, no, we gotta make this stop. We gotta make this stop. And so he's gonna run up, kind of to the side here, being careful not to step on any mouths. And he's gonna just like close his eyes, and he's trying to think, and he's gonna try to sing the song. He's done some singing in the past while he was begging on the streets, and he's gonna try and hum the ballad that he remembers from the vision.
Wow. Give me a D14 roll, please. And Starshine is going to take one more point of damage as the skin Starshine nips at her one more time. But after that, you see the skin form back on Starshine. And she's got a couple more bites in her skin now. Barclay, as a matter of fact, I forgot it, but the skin Barclay is going to, yank your hair one more time for 1 point of damage before your skin absorbs back through your clothes and is once again on you. A 12 is successful, and you begin humming the ballad that you heard um, in the glade with the unicorn. Emmerich, you can see this and you hear it, and something tugs at your memory. It's an annoying itch in the back of your mind, and all the mouths on the floor suddenly begin humming the same thing, but it's still off key, so they're drowning you out, and Emmerich is able to shake it off. Um, you're going to need to do it again, Oracle, but you have succeeded on your first one.
Cool. And at the same time, Burkham is going to rush forward to stand next to Daphne and like reflexively be like, Daphne, get up, and then like realize that she's can hold her own. But we'll still just kind of like see that she's probably even more drained and not looking good. And we'll kind of like maybe even hold out an arm to steady her a little bit after casting that spell. And he will still kind of take a kind of a protective stance in front of her, and then just kind of double move to get closer to the jester.
All right, Siegfried, you are up next.
Is the acid bubble stuff still going on?
It is still going, but yeah. So Burkham, you're gonna have to make a reflex save, please, as you travel through the bubbles of acid. It's very slippery in there. And
So I'm going
thank
to
you for
try to
reminding
move
me.
Siegfried over here and then have him do his "It's just a chicken."
All right, give me a reflex save first.
Okay. Got
You want to
6.
stay in a 6.
He's going to have to. He doesn't have luck to
All
burn.
right, you accidentally pop one of the bubbles as you're traversing through, probably because you're so low, but you only take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
And
And
you make
then
it out to the other side. Give me your "It's just a chicken" roll.
21.
And you are just a chicken. Emmerich seems to not even be able to notice you're there. Why did they bring this stupid chicken with them? Emmerich, you are unable to target the chicken, and out of the frozen golem's belly, Daphne, Scooby Dum, you guys can see a cracking in its skin, and four pygmy clowns explode from the icy stomach of the golem. Hey, play too. What's going on?
Oh, get them! They hate. They're no appreciation for the finer arts of humor.
These tiny little pygmy clowns are using ribs from the big, huge golem as little spears. Emmerich, it is your turn.
There's nothing funnier than kicking them while they're down and recently unfrozen.
No mercy from Emmerich tonight.
I'm standing right in front of him, swinging a scythe.
Oh,
You
no.
sure you don't want to?
Yeah, I know. I'm getting a little out of the way. Just a step to the side. Like I said, it's all about the humor. Target's hair grows so long, just like you are a caveman. Tripping hazard.
Elion, this is very shocking to you because you are bald, but suddenly you have more hair than Rapunzel. It's like Cousin It covering your entire body. And to make any action or movement or attack, I believe you're going to have to roll a reflex save.
Oh, yeah. Told you it'd be funny.
All right. Want me to roll that now, or if I go to make an action, I have to
Only if you do something. Yeah,
right.
you have long, luxurious hair. I don't know how you feel about that, but it's there. And Daphne, you're up. All of a sudden, these four little pygmy clowns have exploded from the belly. Oh.
So you know what? I wasn't quite expecting that. So we're going to go ahead and, when in doubt, let's cast a spell that's broken. Let's cast the Freezing Hands because I've got a penalty on that. Let's get that out of the way. So,
So it's +5 and -5, right?
Yep. And plus it's going to be a negative 1d5 anyway. So it fails no matter what, and I lose the spell. So that's gone. Scooby Dum is going to step in and try to do his darndest to be heroic.
Daphne, give me a reflex save, please. And Scooby Dum also give me a reflex save.
Can do that. And before I roll this, would you accept an argument that the bubbles were frozen?
I would accept that argument, but movement can still cause them to shatter. So Daphne doesn't need to give me a reflex save, but Scooby Dum does.
Oh, poor guy. All right, here we go, buddy. You can do it, Mr. Dumb.
That's a good argument.
There we go.
Yeah, and you do not break any of the bubbles.
Excellent. Look at this guy. He's lucking out. Let's see if we can do one more point of damage here, buddy. Sorry, no luck.
All right. Barclay, you're up next.
All right.
You
So
have the
Ellie,
tune. You can hear the tune that Oracle's humming.
okay. First I'm gonna see Elion back from Popsicle Land. He is going to try and move up close enough to the jester. So he's gonna try and move up right there. So you have to do a reflex to see if he doesn't trip on his hair.
He does.
All right.
Yeah, and it's almost as if you've had hair your entire life.
He's like, this is wonderful.
Like whipping it around like a metalhead.
Right.
So,
more like Fabio. More like a Fabio thing.
Yeah.
He is going to get right up there, right next to the jester, and he is going to burn. He's going to burn 15 spell burn, 10 from stamina, and 5 from agility. And he's going to reach out, and he is going to cast reverse mending on the wand that the jester is holding.
Oh,
Ooh, nice.
taking away Emmerich's toys. That's not nice.
Breaking his toys, like we got to take this guy down. So I try to see how I do this on Roll20, but let's see here. And let me just get rid of the burn there. That goes down to that. That goes to that. All right. Break the toys. All right. I'm going to change my mending dice to a 16 to make the roll. And then add my 15.
These great toys. I mean, these great players keep coming up with ideas that I'm not even thinking of. Emmerich, it is a magic item. Can you give me a D100 roll, please? And if you roll under a 10, it has no effect.
Oh, I
Since it
thought,
does have, it's a magical item, so it's magic against magic. This could be a phlogiston disturbance, but it was over 10%.
okay.
Um,
Well, mending talks about magic versus non-magical items in it. So it does
all right.
differentiate between it. So if you look at the mending spell on a 12 up to about 19, it says it doesn't work on non-magical items. But from a 20 and over, it works on magical items.
Excellent.
So,
The no
Sweet.
D100 roll was called for. What does the 31 effect do?
oh my gosh. It does. Well, the mending, it would permanently repair a very large object of great complexity up to at a range of 100 feet, even if they are magical in nature. So it just utterly, permanently destroys this wand. Um, uh,
So, Emmerich, as you're looking at your wand, the frowny face next to the happy face just falls off. And you're holding it in your hand, about to cast it again. You see the smiling drama face look at you, and it says no. And it gets a little frown, and it falls off too. Suddenly, the stick just disintegrates in your hand, and the only thing that's left after this magic hits you is the little bells that hit by the ground on Elion's feet and begin rolling behind the tapestry.
and Elian says, "Thanks for the hair."
You look great. You look great.
All right, is that everyone? Barclay?
Oh,
does
and
Barclay-
so Barclay, now hearing the tune, is going to pull back out his sitar, and he's going to try and also play along with this tune. That it sounds like. It's like, oh, that's how it goes, right?
All right, so give me a D14 roll now. Assisted by the notes. 8 is close. You think you're a little bit away. Do you want to stay on an 8?
I don't have a lot of luck, so I'm gonna have to stay at an 8, unfortunately. Yep.
All right, Agnar, you're up. The Dark
Eh,
Jester is still alive.
Agnar observes that people are starting to hum the tune. He remembers the briefing. He's like, oh, right, we're supposed to do that. And so he begins to do the tune as well. What is it? I got to roll a D14.
What is your occupation, Agnar?
He's
Besides slave lord.
blacksmith.
Don't
So he starts doing one of these, like
give me a D10 plus any intelligence bonus you have.
Is he a neutral or lawful slave lord?
He wants all his characters to be slave lords.
because I like watching him die.
Oh, that's true. Did
Slavery
you
is very
take a
lawful.
break?
You're imposing a lot of law on other people. Very lawful.
Sure.
Fair.
Agnar has not picked an alignment yet, but if you were chaotic, you would have not gotten the briefing. But give me a D10 roll.
D10. All right.
They're not really slave lords. They just have dreams of being slave lords.
Yeah.
Agnar,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
you're a few points away. You would need to get to a 10.
All right. I'm spending the luck.
All right, so you're at 2 luck and a 10. The humming tune, the mouths in the floor resonate a little bit closer. They almost are singing the exact tune that Oracly and Agnar are humming. Emmerich, you're overcome by emotion, and you feel a presence from your old life tugging on you. You power through it. No, no, it's not who I am anymore. Uh, one more check, and Emmerich will be stunned. Burkham, you're up next.
Well,
Isn't
Oracly
that
is
what
going
you
to
said last
continue.
time?
No, I said you're going to need to succeed again.
Oh, he was a
I don't-
stonemason, not a blacksmith. I
Yeah,
don't think that
I did
matters.
not say it was only going to be one more.
Okay.
Burkham,
So
you're up.
yeah, so Oracly will definitely continue singing.
All right, give me a D16 roll.
16 this time. Okay.
Yep, you guys are getting the song.
4.
Who's got the teddy bear ready?
And your throat's getting dry, Oracly, and you cough and choke on your humming, breaking the pattern.
All right. And we didn't, because we were kind of fast forwarded a bit, we didn't really establish, I guess, who has the unicorn. And was it Elion that had the bear though? Where's the bear?
Benny had the bear, I
Benny
think.
Or
had the
Penny,
bear.
I mean.
Benny's
So is the
been
bear
Oh,
buried.
she
gone?
went on the
So
fire.
where's the bear?
Uh,
I assume one of us picked up the bear, or did the bear go in the fire too?
Yeah.
thematically, we'll say Benny's last action was to throw the bear out to Barclay.
All right.
Take
Right.
the bear! But yeah, the bear would have burnt.
And
It's
then
already
what
been
is
burned.
what
and
is
then who is
Burkham
who is the unicorn?
doing?
So like how can we establish that?
Leonard has the unicorn.
Leonard. Okay. All right. So Burkham is going to protect his fellows. So he's going to rush in and close the distance up to the jester, and he's going to kind of hop up these steps a bit and kind of launch himself with his pick and try to. You know what? He's going to try to knock your hat off as with my deed as he attacks you.
Just insulting you, Emmerich.
Just trying to.
The D does not go off, but the 17 does hit for 4 points of damage,
4
Emmerich.
damage. Yeah.
Rude.
And he'll also try to just kind of slam this makeshift shield into him as well. And perfectly, because this thing sucks and it's just a piece of wood, he can't do it. He keeps trying, and it just like it slips under him. And at this, it falls, and he just like kicks it to the side. And he's like, "This thing's not working."
Perfect story. Excellent. Siegfried, you're up.
Okay, so first Leonard's going to try to sing the song. He's neutral, so he would have heard this.
Okay.
Um,
Give me a
so he's
D.
a halfling dyer, so I don't think he gets a bonus.
No, he dies closed, but he is at a D16 because 2 people have already succeeded.
Oh, that makes sense. Cool.
Oh, he gets 4. He has no luck left, so help there. And Siegfried, being the chaotic little rooster that he is going to run up and go for the eyes again.
Siegfried knows nothing about the plan.
He
Siegfried
knows
just
nothing of
sees
compassion.
blood.
All he knows is
Yes,
murder.
he's going for the
I
eye.
wanted that Cluck Serenade.
Oh, and he gets a +1 on this.
That is true because he is just a chicken.
Yeah, chicken. Oh, doesn't help him though.
All right, the 4 little pygmy things.
Hey guys, thanks for the raid.
Who rated us?
20 sides.
20 sides to every story. Thank you very much. I hope your Temple of Elemental Evil game went great.
Nice.
We are playing Carnival of the Damned as a funnel, and these are all against Scooby Dum. Does an 11, 13, 10, or 14 hit Scooby?
I think most of them do.
Oh, Scooby.
Oh, yes, he's AC 10, so everyone hits.
All
No.
Does he have
Let's
4
see.
hit points?
Well, the good thing is he had 4 hit points, but he's down to 3.
All right, so all three of them succeed in attacking you, but one does manage to pop a bubble and takes 2 points of damage. So one attacks you and then falls into a bubble because he's so excited and ends up popping it, and it's it eats his skin, and he dies. But you are going to take 4 points of damage.
Scooby Dum falls.
No.
Scooby Dum is down.
Yay.
Emmerich, it is your turn. You're surrounded.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm hungry. Time to take a bite out of some chicken.
No.
By the way, 20 size. It'd be really. I don't know if Lareth the Beautiful, that guy's so hot. If he's still alive or not, it'd be funny if you resurrected him as a Strider. Drider.
I think a 5 is going to hit Miss Siegfried.
Oh yeah, he's good.
And Daphne, you are up.
All right, go with me on this. I'm going to cast
Or thing or else.
Ventriloquism, which I have never casted in a combat situation before, but let's face it, now is the time to do things outside of the box.
Amazing.
I'm going to cast. Let's see how good this actually goes. I've got nothing to burn. I'm on fumes here. Yes. All right.
Nice.
With that.
Woo!
Okay.
That's awesome.
Does ventriloquism have a mercurial effect?
Yes, it does, and it's not good. Okay, let's figure that out first. Okay, so ventriloquism. Okay. So the ventriloquism here is the art of decay. It drains the physical form of all material around it, within 20 feet of the caster,
That could be good.
causing it to age. So if you're within 20 feet of me, metal tarnishes and spots of rust appear on it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's pretty much the yellow circle there.
Yeah, basically. So, oh, hey, this is my guy. Okay, that's not that bad. But let's talk about that 19-year-old here. So I project a short phrase. I'm going to try to get it as close as possible. I was hoping for a little bit further range, but I can get it right up there on the 30 feet away. I can get it basically right up in the area there. I can simulate another voice or sound that I have previously heard. So I can take the best sounding person in the group and
Awesome.
basically amplify them back on this. So I would take this as another pass on this.
I
And
see what you're doing. Absolutely. And so with the third check, Emmerich, I need you to make me a will save, please. As the mouths in the floor are now singing the sound, you recognize the song as the ballad that you played right before you were about to kill yourself when you met the unicorn. Emmerich is flooded with the memories of his previous life, but he is still, the dark look overcomes his face, and he realizes what he's become. But he says, "No, I'm too far gone. You can't save me." And he still has his own will about him. He is not stunned. But you have the song playing, and you know the next step is to do the bear and the unicorn. Barclay, you're up next.
So, so we need to pass the song one more time.
No, the song
do the
is
bear.
going. The
Just
bear in his
mouths and
hands.
All
the
right.
mouths in the
then-
floor are singing the song.
Then Barclay would move forward, holding the bear up. He says, "Emmerich, do you remember your daughter? This is her
Presenting-
bear."
Presenting Freya's bear, a ghost of a little girl manifests, and she begins calling out, "Papa? Papa, is that you?" Emmerich, I need you to make me another will save, please.
Roll low this time.
And yeah, it was harder to beat this time. He had to get a 19. Emmerich
Nice.
becomes dazed and stunned as his eyes gloss over, and he doesn't look like he wants to injure anyone anymore. And he's like, "Freya, is that you?" Barclay, anyone else?
Got the
What is
Barclay calls
Elion
out.
doing?
Elion is just he's gonna back up and say, "The unicorn, where's the unicorn? Bring the unicorn statue." And look to Leonard, I think.
Leonard, you know that all you have to do is set the unicorn statue on the ground. Do we want to
Okay.
fast track to Agnar? Do you want to do anything?
let's go to let's cue
Yeah.
the unicorn.
All right.
Unicorn.
Siegfried, it is Leonard's turn.
Okay. So Leonard will take out the unicorn and set it on the ground.
It begins to vibrate, its surface chipping away to reveal a golden light within. The spirit of the unicorn manifests in front of you in its full glory and magnificence. It begins trotting over to Emmerich, the mouths disappearing under its feet and not returning wherever it passes. Standing in front of Emmerich, the unicorn looks at him and he says, "My friend, this isn't who you are." Emmerich, what do you say?
So tired, my friend. So many years lost in this dark prison of the mind. So much undeserved pain. The innocent. Beg your forgiveness. Losing the path of kindness you taught me to walk. I want to go home to your friend. Be free of the pain. Please finish this.
And Emmerich pulls open his jester shirt and bares his chest. The unicorn lowers its head and drives its horn right into Emmerich's chest. You see a golden light emanate from the unicorn, blinding all of you. And when it's gone, the unicorn is gone. Emmerich's body collapses to the ground. Over to the right, you see the ghost of Emmerich as he was, the man who cared and performed for the orphanages, who loved his family. And you see his daughter Freya next to him and his wife. And he says, "Thank you," before he dissipates and they all disappear. And we went 10 minutes over because it was the last battle. I want to thank our special guest, DM Bad Wrong Fun. Stefan, thank you so much for coming out and seeing
Absolutely. That was
Emmerich.
awesome.
What a
Love
great
guest star.
sport,
That's awesome.
and
That was
the
awesome.
hat and the makeup. Nice
Loved
work,
it.
man.
Thank you. Very fun being here.
Because we're 10 minutes over, I'm going to kind of rush. Make sure Cyclops Con is coming up. Sign up for any games. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you so much.